We were just talking. No way. No way. No way could we be out. See, there we go. See, now we're back. What happened?
Aliens.
We did not push no buttons. We were laughing. Somebody said looking for S6, and then we're back on again. Seriously. Serious, man. See, we're back up, right? Are we back up? Everyone back up again?
I'm looking.
All right. I just want to make sure. I'm hyping up everything and stuff like that. And I want nobody to mess with us and shit, talking about the show being out. No, literally, we're just, and you guys are saying that we're out. Are we out? See, I see a bunch of standbys and standbys. Nope, we're up. Who's saying we're out? Ain't no way we're out. Y'all give me a comms check. Give me a comms check on Mixer. Give me a comms check on Facebooks. Give me a comms check on YouTube. Give me a comms check. Yeah, see, exactly. 5x5. I don't know. Maybe everyone's having some issues with their outstations and where they're at. But I got us broadcasting in the green. Yeah, see, everyone's broadcasting up. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Thank you, though, for that heads up. Maybe it was on your end. Okay, so if Kaz says that there was an issue, that been something going on, then it might have been some up. Okay, switchboard is up. There you go. All right. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to freak everybody out. Are we still even broadcasting on freaking Yeah, we are. We're still broadcasting on Twitter. I just want to make sure. There you go. See, I don't know what happened. Did I drop off? I don't know. I did drop off for a second. Okay. Well, I mean, we're back up. I was checking all the stuff, and we were greens. We were in the greens, son. But at any rate, so let's go back to the story. The Army has already said that they are now no longer looking at photos for promotions now, for evals, for anything, for your records. We talked about this before. I think there was a long time ago. It was rumored throughout the NCO realm that there was going to be no longer any more photos. Everyone said that. We even said during some of the command climate surveys, and we discussed that we think that some of these photos looked a little bit too, I don't know, they were too, I don't know, we open to bias. Do you think so? I mean,
oh, absolutely.
What's up?
Sorry, no, I was just checking. I still see like one not up.
Who's not up?
I don't see it on the main page yet.
Oh, you don't see it on the main page? Oh, okay.
Yes, that's what I'm missing. Sorry, I'm trying to do all the tech things anyway. But yes, I do. I think it is completely open to bias, even if it's not. I don't necessarily think it's all, or even like anybody's out there. I'm not going to say it's not possible, but I don't think anybody's going in there with a complete and total racial bias. But we all have some kind of bias. You can't say we don't. If you have worked with anybody that's like popping up, on the, their files popping up in front of you, you're going to have a bias,
right?
No matter what, good, bad, indifferent, you're going to have one.
And so with that, so hey, I'll get it up, guys. I see it now. I see it. You guys relax. I'll get it back up. So with that bias being said, is it what do you think? What do you think it was? Do you think? I mean, people are like kind of tap dancing on the subject. Do you think it's a subject of the? Is it racial? Is it gender? Is it what do you think? What do you? I mean, because you've done the S1 stuff. What do you think it is? What do you think the?
Well, I think it depends on the board member, and I'm sure you can't rule out racial bias. I'm sure there are probably some people that are going to have it.
Right.
You can't rule that out. But I honestly, if you ask my opinion, there is, I guess this is going to sound a little sexist, but there's going to be a good old boy network. I've worked with this person. I know this person.
Right.
I know they're a superstar, and I'm going to look more favorably on them.
Right.
Than I will someone I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Or I've never worked with, or look unfavorably on them because I don't fucking like them.
Right. No, I hear you.
They're a dick. I don't care if their records are outstanding. They're just, an ass or whatever.
Yeah. No, do you think that the Army has placed too much? You guys check us up on the front. See if we're up on the front. Do you think that there's a? I don't know. Do you think that it's a propensity to think that way? Do you think it's kind of like, okay, yeah, well, they I don't know. I don't want to tap dance it. Do you think it's just like I just don't like I just don't like chicks in uniform, or I just don't like that specific race, and or he just doesn't look good, or he just doesn't look. Do you think it's that? Do you think it's
Oh, absolutely.
You don't have to worry about tap dancing.
No, I'm trying to like. I think you can deny it all you want.
Right.
Do I think it's as much racist? Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
Are there probably some people that are? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think there's probably a lot more that would be sexist.
Mm-hmm.
And there's definitely nobody can sit there and say that they're not going to think more favorably or disfavorably on someone they know
Mm-hmm.
compared to someone they've never met.
Right.
So I think taking away the photos is a good start, but I think they need to take away all identifying data. You're not going to be able to ever make it completely blind compared to the sex. Yeah, I mean, you're getting there with the ACFT being gender neutral, but you're going to be able to tell unless you get rid of height and weight.
That's my thing. It should all just be pass or fail. That's just me.
Yeah.
If you're busting out the regs, in other words, you should not have to know the finite details of somebody if they barely made tape or not. It shouldn't matter if they made tape. They made tape. If they met the standard, they met the standard. There should be no, I guess you'd say there should be no reason to believe that if someone has passed or someone has met the standard, then there should be no issue. In other words, it's almost like you don't believe the unit. You don't believe the soldiers down on the line or you don't believe the commanders down on the line to brief that information out. You know what I mean? It just. I don't know. It just, to me, I just think that if you're removing the photo, let's remove everything else. Let's remove ethnicity. Let's remove gender. Let's remove height and weight. Let's remove. You know what I mean? Let's have it legit. Let's just start at the photo, because then, if you do it at the photo, then people are going to be like, okay, well then why can't you stop at why can't you continue to go on the gender? Why can't you go on the ethnicity? Why can't you know what I mean? Why can't you go on the height and weight? Why can't you go on the PT test? It should be pass or fail. It should be performance and duty. What you've done, what you did, and all that, and everything should be spoken in the they terms. You know what I mean? There should be nothing about that. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, it does, and I think we're at a start with getting rid of the photo.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, and let's be realistic. There's still if it is racist, you can still have some pretty racial bias just with the names.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying
Lee, Tang, Gonzalez.
Right.
I mean, there are people that can marry into those names and not necessarily be that race.
Right.
But there are some pretty, there are some names that, okay, that sounds like a Korean last name, or that sounds like a Hispanic last name. So you're not going to get rid of it all.
I think everybody should be Smith then. Everyone should be Smith. Everyone should be
everybody should be John Doe.
John Doe or Jane Doe or something like that, and it should just have whatever. I mean, I think some of the way the bullets are going to have to be written, it would have to be the how do I say? It would have to be just in the they pronoun. You can't. In other words, because say for instance, we've already taken the photos away. All right. And let's look at your eval. She conducted this and she completed that and she did this and she did this for so many, for this, for that. Got it. All right. Okay. Let's just do it in PTs. We should do it in PTs, right? Then what about the duty position and or in other words, I don't know. It's hard because when you have someone says, when you have somebody that's been injured or has had surgery or something like that, and they've gone through some stuff. How do you put was injured and cracked her back, or he cracked his back, or he did something like that? How do you put that persevered through, whatever to get to? I mean, that'd be something. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that's not good that we didn't get rid of that we got rid of the photo. I want to know how come the enlisted and the warrant officers.
Well, I think I didn't look at the board schedule because it's just a couple more months. It's
right.
August,
It's in August.
That's when it's
correct.
So I didn't look at the board schedule, but I'm going to assume. I know that makes an ass out of you and me.
Right.
They probably already have board files done for some board.
Right.
and don't want to redo all the work. That's my guess.
Well, right, and I was about to say Stefan's got a good point too. As why don't you just have it after some randomized number, or have it off of your freaking have it off your DoD ID number or something like that.
Right. Nobody's memorizing those.
No, yeah, no, hell no. Once we started freaking getting into that stuff, and once we started talking about it and all that, DoD ID number. What the hell are you talking about? At that point, because then when you start, because I'm all for it. If you're gonna do all the, you're gonna do the photo. Well, you think about it. Think about this then. Awards. Then if you're doing away with the photo, then you should only see the awards. Then you start, okay, let's look at because the photo, you're looking at awards, you're looking at fitness, you're looking at you're looking at what somebody looks like, you're looking at name recognition. I'll be honest with you, I'm glad there's some individuals that just look Captain America looking good. I don't fit that. I don't fit that. I'm not saying, is there people that actually think that? Because there's been people shooting some DMs at me going, what do you think? Do you think it's because, we have more ugly people that are promoted less than, you know what I mean? Or I don't know. You could go back and forth on what some of the personal bias is. I know there are some individuals that do have some racial bias. I'll be honest with you. I'll admit that. I'll admit that I've heard. Obviously, I'll admit that but I'll admit that there are some individuals that have spoken to me about saying, well, I don't know, because of so and so that would use race. Well, you know how Mexicans are. Asians. You know what I mean? Shit like that. Not even realizing that they're fucking saying that, but they'll bust it out. CSL is about to convene here in August, so you have to do it right. CSL though, man, that's kind of like, ugh. I don't know.
I don't know. Like I said, it's a start. It is a start. Like, we didn't even think we'd ever get this far, getting the photos removed.
Right. Yeah, you're right. And I don't want to hear anybody saying, well, we need to see what they look like. No, you don't. If their record speaks for themselves, you don't need to know. Like, if you're questioning like their height, weight, this, that, or whatever, you're questioning the integrity of their raider, their senior raider, everybody in their freaking chain of command that's ever taped them, weighed them, and them. Right. Right. Well, yeah.
Has it happened? Yeah, probably. But
think about it though. But think about this. It's that it's here's a leadership challenge for our formations right now. Look at everything that's been happening on COVID and look at everything that's been happening on ACFT. Do you really think that they're not going to be judging? Do you think there's still a little bit of a judgmental bias to it still? You know what I mean? There's going to be somebody like, oh my God, I kind of know that guy. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's kind of like, because when you think about those type of boards, those are centralized promotion boards. We're talking about staff sergeant to sergeant first class to master sergeant, and master sergeant to sergeant major. So you're just kind of like, you're in some communities that's small enough to know you actually know who the hell's in front of you. But then again, the way the board's set up, you're more than likely not going to have your records reviewed by the same person that sits on your board. The defense secretary, what was it, Wednesday or something like that? I think it was like, what was it, Monday or Wednesday or something? I think it was Monday. Maybe it was Monday or Tuesday. Talking about having, he was just proposing they're removing the photos from the officer promotion packets. Just kind of like, to say that eliminate the unconscious bias. I don't think it's unconscious. They're just some guys and gals that see biases within themselves. I know in some units, they don't like to see women in charge of shit. I know in some units, they don't like to see, ethnic groups in charge of shit. They don't. It's just that it sucks. That's fucking the reality. It sucks. So SecDef said, fuck it, we're removing it.
And it was as easy as that.
And it was just easy. Exactly. It was just easy. That's what I'm saying. It's that fucking easy. And then we have the, I promised I wouldn't be using profanity a lot because this is going to be Sergeant Major Craven.
Right.
I mean, we're trying to present his whole formation's listening. They're already like laughing at us. Ha. They had already had comms out,
Sorry, it happens.
So it happens. You guys are already behind us on the East Coast. Or wait, we're ahead of you. So anyway, so the memo that was dated yesterday by Army Secretary Ryan McCarthy and the Chief of Staff, General James McConnell, said that, hey, we're done. As of August 1st, the strength of our Army comes from our diversity. Developing a maintaining qualified demographically diverse leadership is critical for mission effectiveness and is essential to national security. So there you go. That's the dealio. I just want to know why it waited. I mean, I know Jason's got a good point. I'm waiting for the CSL to get selected. But yeah, everyone's like, you don't want to look what what if you have a soldier that doesn't look good in his ACUs but is smart, can PT like, that's another good point too. There are some individuals that I have seen in uniform that they just, for some reason, their body proportions just doesn't look good. They don't look good. They don't look. I mean, the ASU is the ASU. How many people do you know look good in their
90% of the females don't look good in it.
I was about to say,
like a female.
Yeah,
unless we're built like a 12-year-old boy, we don't look good in it.
Well, that's
why the DA photo guy is back there clipping us, trying to make it look like, hey, I know they're taping stuff down. They're using like those like claw clips in the back.
Right.
Like those DA photos are bullshit anyway. Sorry again. I'm gonna cuss, but they are like. We don't look like that.
No, we don't. What I'm saying, I know when you have female soldiers that are just like I said, it's really like a little bit above average height and a little bit just below average on the short, like the right before, I would say like 5'9", 5'10", 5'11" is usually the height for. I've seen some guy, and then there's the shorter guys that are a little bit shorter than that. Just don't look. They just don't. The ASU doesn't look good on them.
Why do you think the old guard has those standards?
But what are you talking about? Oh yeah, exactly.
Oh
that.
yeah, you gotta be this height or this height, and this is because they look the only ones that look good in the uniform.
Right. Well, yeah. From what I heard, somebody tell me, some of you old guard folks that are out there, somebody said that they have their whatchamahuzits. They have them tailored. They have them made specifically for them.
Probably. I had mine made for me in Korea, like.
Well, Korea, you had they make sure that your shit's. I mean, they're really good. I keep hearing these stories about these nice. The tailoring is freaking is on point over there. I know over Fort Hood or Fort Bragg, it's a roll the dice. It's the Dungeons and Dragons rolling of the dice. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, you buy them at the clothing and sales, and then you go to Ajima, and you just stand there, and she does a bunch of things to you and measures you up, down, sideways. Like not like here where they measure inseam and kind of your shoulders and all that. No, she's measuring you 500 million different ways, and they fit perfectly. Right.
Well, yeah. So I mean, like I said, I've seen what I'm like. I look okay. No one said anything about my uniforms when I'm on my ASUs. Man, we should put up our old DA.
You're a guy.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying.
No, you want my old DA photo? I'll have to find
it. Put our old. We should have done that. We should put our old DA photos what it looked like. But that'd have been funny. Then definitely you'd have been like, ew, you know what I mean? You're like, oh my god, it's but no, it's just you're gonna. Okay, so you already got the fit and the wear, like you just said. Like there was comments in the chats. There are individuals out there that look pretty good in their ASUs, and there are people that are just like, God, dude, is that all you have? Did you have any tents or something like that? Did you where'd you get this shit made at? You know what I mean? And then there's the awards. That's gotta be it's gotta get validated and looked at on your ERB. See, but then again, when you're looking at your OMPF,
I mean, it's already there. Why do you need to see it on the picture?
That's what I'm saying, but it's on your OMPF, but it's gonna have your name on there. It's gonna have your name.
And they can take that off eventually. Maybe we'll get to that.
We can have our names not on there.
I mean, it's already up to your S1 to already have validated all that.
Right, had validated all that, but what I'm saying though is that from that point on, so that means we don't have to have an OMPF anymore?
I mean, that's what they're going to be looking at instead of the picture to see what all the awards,
That's what I'm saying.
DOD ID number such and such has.
So then how are you going to look?
They're going to be going off just your records. Why would they need a picture or need to know who it is?
Right. What I'm saying though is that when they usually got your SRB up, they have your SRB up, they have your picture up, and then they have access to your OMPF. So if it looks like you're freaking stolen valor or some shit, then what they'll do is they'll have a record. Oh, okay, look here. He's got too many ARCOMs, or he's got too many. There's no way this guy's got 15 ARCOMs and 15 Bronze Stars or something like that. And then they go through and they look through the OMPF, and it'll say Sergeant First Class Snuffy, Sergeant First Class Snuffy, for meritorious duty and blah 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 blah, and it's already got his name right there. It's already been busted out. His name is busted out as soon as they open up the OMPF to validate the SRB.
Well, they can redact all that. I mean, they can.
They
can have the whole.
Do
thing.
that? Ooh,
they can.
I'm saying, but that means we'd have to change our awards, the way we write our awards.
No, they just they can have a board file with all of the personally identifying data.
Right,
taken out.
redacted.
Like their whole OMPF like for the board file, it can be like blacked out. I mean, you used to
But
do it
right,
in
but I'm
World War
saying
II
though,
for
but
letters. I mean,
but
it can be done.
but the narrative that has to be written for these awards though would have to be written to where it is not. It has to be gender, neutral. It can't be he she.
I mean, we're gonna probably get to that, but eventually. But I mean, at least you won't know who it is. That's I think the hardest part would be is to get like away from if it's a male or female. That would be
Yeah,
the hardest thing.
that's the hard. That's going to be the hardest part because
I mean, getting away from a person, you know, and that's.
right. But
I
how
mean,
do
the
you?
sexism bias will still be there. Probably that'll be the last part to go. But I mean, if you can get rid of like the whole entire person and race, I think that'd be a huge step. A huge step.
So it'd be. I'm looking at a record.
I mean,
I have no picture, so I can't identify what their ethnicity or their or their gender is. And then I have their awards there, and and then you have another set. Okay, so this individual went to Jumpmaster course. Okay, he went to Jumpmaster school. He went to whatever advanced airborne. Okay, then he's got this, he's got that. Okay, so everything's good. There's no name, it just says a qualification. Yep, there's an order number. And then his first award's probably a Meritorious Service Medal. And then you open up the Meritorious Service Medal to validate, to make sure that's in there. And then it says, for Meritorious Service for blah, 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 blah. Sergeant First Class so-and-so did this, this, this. He did this, this, this. He was in charge of this, this, this. He did that, that, that.
mm-hmm.
Then that's already revealing his gender. That's already revealing.
I mean, it's revealing his gender, but at least, like I said, and I mean, well, even if, okay, it would take some work, and no, and it would, and it actually wouldn't be that hard if you think about it. Like the awards get written, and once they're approved, before they get uploaded to the OMPF, like the pronouns get blacked out. I don't think that would be that difficult.
So the narrative would have to get written out.
I mean, yeah, well, even if it's like, I don't see it being, I mean, it would be an adjustment for sure, but like the S1s upload that, when it gets uploaded, it's like, all right, it's just one extra step, and yeah, it would suck, but once it becomes part of your daily battle rhythm, it's like, all right, this gets blacked out, and then before it gets uploaded.
Right.
I mean,
I don't know. That's gonna be tough.
It is, but I'm like I said, I think that's like further down the road. Like I said, this is the start, removing the pictures from the board file.
Yeah.
Next, I think would be removing the names.
Yeah, I guess you can see that. I mean, because I guess you can kind of form a mental picture. I mean, I guess the information. You have a board going by, and you're doing a board. You only have so many seconds, or you only have so many minutes to look at a record. You really can't formulate a picture on someone unless you're just looking at their. I will say this, so you don't have to worry about all. Well, actually, I'm kind of thinking about all those installation photo shops, photo sections, all those 25 Victors and shit. That they're going to be. It just looks like everyone else. You look like General Al-Dean. I think that they're going to be out of a job.
I mean, they're still going to probably have a need for DA photos. There's going to be a lot of competitive type things that are not.
See, but yeah,
I don't know. I could see it like I said, we're starting at the board. Like,
right.
I don't know. There's going to be.
So we're gonna have to make S1s larger then, so that way S1s can fill out these records. Because when you think about, because right now, the S1s are going. I'm telling you what, the S1s are busting their butts so bad right now because of all the COVID stuff with their exceptional.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, because me and you were talking about the.
I am so glad I don't have.
Yeah, we were talking about some of the S1 people. We are in some of the groups that some of the individuals do not realize, but we do kind of hang out in some of the groups that we are in that has to do with S1s and S3s and sergeant majors and colonels and PAO stuff and all that. We see it. We see all the screenshots. We get all the information. And right now, the S1s are pulling their hair out just because of all the exceptional policies that have to happen for this COVID, just a PCS or just to go to a school. or one organization says one thing, or another organization.
I mean, they probably need an ETP to go to the bathroom.
They need, yeah, exactly. What to say right now? Who's going to be having an ETP for this? Sorry, you gotta go. You need an ETP to go to lunch, but it's like a little. It's out in the town. We haven't had a COVID update in a while though. I'm just trying to think about a battalion commander assessment program. Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's I love it. The battalion commander assessment program. That's where they all the potential battalion lieutenant colonels go, and they go to Knox and they go get drilled, and they go through a promotion board. That's what I'm talking about. What happens if Elon Musk's son enlists? I don't even know how to pronounce that last name for Elon Musk's kid. It's like Staff Sergeant 8. How do you even pronounce that? It's a funky graphics dash
It's
12
just Elon's
Musk.
son.
Yeah, exactly. Elon's kid. Yeah. So we're all annotated. We're all annotated as numbers like that. That's hard. Because then you remove the human factor too. Because how do you look at a promotion when now all of a sudden somebody has all these awards, and how does it work for somebody who has Valorous awards? I don't know, man. It's tough. I'm scratching my head at this because
you're true, because there's only like a handful of Medal Honor winners on active duty, and if that pops up, you're gonna know who that is.
Well, I know there's one that needs to get one right now, and that's Alwyn Cash.
Right.
But yeah, it's just.
No, but there was still just a few that were still on active duty. So if they were going to be, if they were continuing their service, all right, well, obviously you're not going to be able to that's going to be an identifying factor, and you can't remove that. So there's always going to be some flaws, no matter how you do it, but it's still going to be better than what it is or what it was, just yesterday.
Yeah,
so,
well, it's a start, I guess.
Yeah,
that's a start.
That's the way I look at it. Is better than it was yesterday.
I'm trying to remember what the board doesn't look at when you have a promotion ERB.
They take out
a ton of information.
The dependent data.
Yeah. They take out a lot of info.
Yeah, they do.
I think how long you've been in. There's just enough where you've been in, just enough to where they say, hey, okay, is this guy or gal even qualified to stay in, or you know what I mean?
Well, you wouldn't be at the board if you weren't, because
right.
It's only they narrow that down in the MILPER message.
Correct, for individuals who have had so many years in time and grade and service, and then that whole new board stuff is getting crazy. What I can't wait for is to see the results of the first board with it.
Oh, they're all going to whine and want the picture back. That's going to be the AAR.
Yeah, you think so?
They want the picture back. Oh yeah.
You think they want the picture back?
Because anytime you do any kind of change like this, it's the people that have been in longest that are usually the ones pushing back. That's usually how it is. And is it everybody? No, because look, I'm already retired and I still think it's a great idea. But
well, that's because we're different. You know what I mean? We would have
right.
We would have been what if we would have been I think how did we had to stay in, and people would be like, what the hell's wrong with you guys? I know we would be in trouble if we were on WTF Nation Radio, because people get pretty people have been pretty buttsore about some of the stuff the main page has been doing in WTF Nation Radio, but no, it's so you're right. Some of it's subject to change for how an individual feels. I'll be honest, because I'm weird. I like weird tech. I like tech. I like anything that's innovative. I like innovation. I like change like that. You shouldn't be stuck and wallow in one standard. Well, that's the way we've always done it. You know what I mean? I hate that. That drives me up the wall.
Oh, I hate that too.
Yeah, it just we need to have and Kaz brings up a good point that all service members, especially E4 and above, need to have a professional photo on file. I think that right there for a professional photo, not a promotion photo, is good. Like what we call back that brag. Oh, did I just say back a brag? Ah. Oh!
You totally did.
I totally did. God, I have not said that in age. I have not said that in. I always told myself that would never. Oh, great! Now freaking Jason's gonna break my balls about this stuff. He's gonna bust my butt. He's never heard me say that. He's gonna totally come on there and say, "Break it back." Back and back. Yeah. At any rate, what was I gonna say?
Well, like the professional photo, like the command photo.
Right. What we call a hero photo. The reason why you have a hero photo is in the event something were to happen to you while you're deployed, because the last time I checked, you're in the freaking army. You might have something happen to you, and should you, God forbid, have something happen to you, you're going to have something for your memorial, something to remember that was a picture. There's nothing, what we call it, a hero photo. There's nothing wrong with that. I agree with Cost. But yeah, this whole freaking, hits the record button. Yeah. Everyone's like,
oh, this is recorded.
Yeah, I know. Exactly that. Yeah, everyone's going, oh. You're right. It is called the death photo. I mean, not to sound callous, but it is called the death photo, and you have your uniforms all squared away because that's what we call, that's your death shroud. That's why you always have your. I mean, it's just one of those callous things there, but sorry, just you have to just whatever. It just sucks. It's just fact of life. That right there is cool, kind of like a photo like that, but not to determine your promotion though. Okay, I got the memes. Got it. Stop PMing me.
That's exactly why we need to change the name before Bragg.
Exactly.
Nobody else can say that ever.
Exactly. So nobody can say back and Bragg. What's up, Bailey? How's you doing? Bragg. Like Bragg. Well, actually, Back and Bragg.
I don't think I ever said back at Hood, and I spent about 75% of my entire career at Fort Hood. I don't think I ever said back at Hood.
I have said, I don't think I've ever said, I think this is the first time in a long time since I've said back to Bragg. I think I said back to Bragg to piss off my regular Army contemporaries when I was in the 1st Armor Division, but I don't think I've ever, I don't recall, I just can't believe I said that. It just flew right out. It just flew right about. So when we call it back at Fort Gavin,
or I don't know, back at Lewis.
Back at yeah.
Eustis.
When I was stationed at here, you know what I mean. People, but immediately the back at Bragg one is like back at Bragg.
Great, that's like a thing. It's not a thing for any other post
except for Bragg, right? Exactly. God, I did not mean to say that. God, that just sounded threw me off my mojo now, man. I couldn't believe I said that. Back at Bragg. But yeah, it's like something you put out. You have a bird on your freaking shoulder, Every time you say it, it just mocks you for the rest of the night. Back, Oh
my God, the little Gilbert Godfrey one.
Exactly. Iago from Aladdin. You're damn right. That's the original Iago. I know, friggin', did you even watch that abomination of Aladdin? I didn't want to see it.
Absolutely not.
Okay, yeah. I
haven't watched any of the live action remakes. I just can't bring myself to do it.
Because I have some memories with my daughters growing up, singing all the songs, singing all the songs from Lion King, singing all the songs from Aladdin, and imitating Iago, the parrot. He's like Bragg. God, I couldn't even imagine. I don't know why we got on this freaking subject.
I don't know, but before we get off of it, that's the one good thing that happened because of the COVID. The Little Mermaid one got pushed off, canceled, whatever. Because I'm not down for them desecrating the Little Mermaid.
I know. Yeah. I think it's because, like you were saying, well, there you go. That's the thing that you have. You like change. You need to change. That's what I'm saying. You need to change. You need to change. You need to change.
Maybe I'll watch them.
Yeah, you need to change.
Not today.
Did they even come out with a new Little Mermaid? I don't even know.
Well, no, they're doing a live action remake of that one too.
I can't wait to see that.
And I'm not down for that.
Well, I'm not down for all the Yeah, I'm not down. Like I said, I got the nostalgia thing in me. My daughter's like, you should see it. It's really great. And I'm just like, and then my youngest would be like, I don't know. I kind of like Dad, being goofy and messing, singing around and blah 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 and. Sounded like freaking, Oogie Boogie Man. They better not redo the Nightmare Before Christmas. But, anyways, so they were called death photos. You're right. You took a picture before you deployed, and you got it all stanced up, and you were standing normally in front of a flag, and then that was what you had, and then your uniform was all G to G, back at home station, so that way you can have so should something happen to you. There's a lot of stuff behind it. There's a lot of reason why, but I'm kind of glad that they did away with the photo. Because that right there is really I look at some DA photos of myself I'm looking at and I'm like I really didn't kind of freaking change except maybe got more grayer, maybe more beat up. So feet on somebody saying something's wrong with my with the feet again. I don't know what's going on with Facebook. Is Facebook up? Why is everyone saying Facebook is down?
It did it for me too. Ugh. I don't know. Maybe it's just, Zuck hates us. Did we do something wrong? Or maybe it was because, we got off on the Disney tangent.
Maybe it was back at Bragg.
Yeah, probably was.
I'm not, guys, gals, I'm not seeing anything. Maybe it's the signal. Maybe it's what. I'm not seeing anything wrong with my. Everyone just needs to chill on the. Stop sending me the PMs. I got the comms right here. You're gonna freak out our guest. He's gonna be like, no. Gosh, yeah, we're good to go. Yeah, see, everything's good. I don't know why I'm sitting here looking at. I'm sitting here looking at the I'm looking at my subtitles. That's why I'm kind of laughing, because I'm like, I can't believe some of the things that I'm saying on my subtitles. I got the comms right here. You're gonna freak out our guest. He's gonna be like, oh. There you go. See, we're all up. Anyways, what was that? What were we talking about? Oh, so anyways, but then there's like August 1st is when the enlisteds and the warrant officer are gonna have their stuff removed too. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know why. I don't know why we. It has, like I said, like Jason said, it has to be with the board.
Yeah, I think it's just timing.
Yeah, I think so too.
They can't do it all at once.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or ISO prep as well. Some individuals don't know what an ISO prep is, though.
Oh.
Some organizations don't have to have. You don't have to have an ISO prep.
Well, it's just basically pictures and information about yourself.
Yeah, exactly. What's your favorite meme? That's I had that on some of my ISO prep stuff. Was the main page shit that only certain people would know about me. So. I'm wondering, right? I'm just thinking about if you dig back in my ISO prep, you'll find some main page secrets. Yeah, I don't know. Everyone's gonna like run over to the vault right now to my records are at and look at my ISO prep and see what it said. Did he really just have that on there?
I can't even remember. It's been so long
I know.
I had to do that.
Yeah,
I know. It's like, what is funny is I remember doing my pictures for it, and I'm like, oh no, I don't like the way my hair looks, and I had to redo my hair.
Right.
Because I'm a girl, when it comes to things like that. Oh no, my bun's not straight. It's like, it doesn't look the same. I'm like, oh, I gotta fix that. I couldn't have it. No. It's very important that everything was straight for that picture.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure, like, if I ever really needed it for like what it's used for, my hair would not have looked like that picture.
Right.
But
Right. Anyways, everyone's giving me stop. Look, I got all the stuff up. I don't know what I can't tell you guys and gals what's happening with the feeds, man. I can't. I don't know what it is. There we go. It's Bragg. Bragg knows what I'm talking about. It's becoming cinches. As soon as I came back up, yeah, see, Dreezy's he's beating me up again. Yep, exactly. I don't know what's going on, guys and gals. Don't know what's going on. Do know what's going on. Yeah, see, there's a massive lag, I guess. I don't know. Must be the interwebs. Must be because we were.
I got it back. Hey, it came back for me, and I got like the slowest computer going right now.
It must be. Yeah, it has to be the APIs, man. It's got to be the. Go to jail. Everything here is because of jail.
Mixer's working fine, y'all.
Yeah, Mixer. Yeah, you guys might not have to go to Mixer or something like that. I have no idea. No idea what it is. Can't help you with that. It's because of the Rona. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and take a break. And then we'll be waiting for our guest. Yeah, everyone's still go. Yeah, Mister's going away. Yeah, that's a discussion we'll talk about later. It's rumored it's going away, but we're gonna have our guest come on, and then we'll man, I'm excited. Shoot the shit and start talking and get it all up. Hopefully he's probably gonna. Hopefully he doesn't blow up. His enthusiasm doesn't cause lag or something like that, because it's like it's got a lot of bandwidth. I know Sergeant Major.
As long as he doesn't say back and brag, I think he'll be okay.
He's gonna say it because he 82nd to use my jump buddy.
Oh boy.
So anyways, we'll be right back. We're gonna take a break, and then we'll have our guest coming on, Command Sgt. Craven. So stand by. Shots.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Take it from me, Ice. You can't just float around space not caring about stuff forever.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Shit in the bag, Pogue. Take a look inside your life. Is it so bad? Is this where you draw the line? 'Cause it's so sad. Tell me where you lost your faith. Is it so bad? Couldn't see it in your face. And it's so sad. I'll wait until you come back. Come back down to me. I'll wait until you come down. Come back down. Why you keep it in your head? Is it so bad? Never heard a word you say it, and it's so sad. Tell me when you lost your way, 'cause it's so bad. I'll see you when I pray, and it's so sad. I'll wait until you come back down to me. I'll wait until you come back down to me. I'll wait until you come back down to me. I'll wait until you come back down. Is it what you want? Is it what you needed now? Is it what you breathe? Is it what you're feeling now? Is it what you feel? Is it what you're feeling now? Is it what you wanted? I'll wait until you come back down to me. I'll wait until you come back down to me. I'll wait until you come back down to me. I'll wait until you come back down. Hello, you. Will you come back down to me? Hello, you. Will you come back down? Hello, you. Won't you come back down to me? Hello, you.
I am here determined to stop this future atrocity.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
Please enjoy the show. Shots.
And we're back with part 2 of Sergeant's Time with our guest, Command Sergeant Major Robert T. Craven. What's going on, big man?
Ken, how's it going, brother? Great to be here.
Man, who'd have thought? I mean, it's been a while.
Absolutely, man. How's it going? Are you ready?
Are you ready, man?
I'm ready.
So you're repping the 5th Security Forces Assistance Brigade out of JBLM.
Absolutely, beautiful Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
Never been stationed here in my life, but I tell you, man, this place is absolutely amazing.
Is it better than where you're from? I mean, is it or because you know we got General Honore listening on this too, so I know you guys are raging Cajuns, so I don't know if he's gonna don't You can say it. You can say if you like being in JBLM better than home.
Well, I gotta tell you, I'm from Louisiana. My heart will always be there. However, the summers here are just a little bit different from that southern humidity, man.
Oh, I bet. So, give us a background of you, man. Where have you been? When did you come into the Army? What did you do? And then tell us about your time in the SFAB.
All right, so my name is Robert Craven. I go by Rob. I came in the Army in 1995 in March. I enlisted as a 82 Charlie Field Artillery Surveyor. I later then reclassified when I was a young staff sergeant to 13 Papa, which is a HIMARS MLRS fire direction specialist. Served time as a drill sergeant at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. Spent about 8 years at Fort Bragg. Had 2 tours there. Most recently, I was in 18th Airborne Corps headquarters as the J3 Fire Sergeant Major Forward with CJTF OIR. I served time at Fort Stewart, Georgia, so I'm a dog-faced soldier. I was the 3rd Infantry Division Artillery CSM, a great honor. I met great people, served with great soldiers. And then the opportunity came about for this special thing called the SFAB, which in all honesty, I really didn't know much about. And I got to tell you, man, from a distance, I was kind of like, what is this thing? I mean, I've heard all the hype around it. It's a conventional Army unit, understand what the mission is. Conducted an interview, and I got to tell you, 1 year later, now on the ground, I can't see my professional life being lived any other way, man. When you're surrounded by professionals that want to be in an organization, as a volunteer organization, it just breeds achievement. I mean, iron truly sharpens iron, and these soldiers here are some of the best in the conventional force.
Now, the SFAB itself has been around for the SFAC, I should say, the Security Forces Assistance Command. How long has that been around? Do you have some history of that organization?
Yeah, so our command was built after the first 2 initial brigades, 1st and 2nd SFAB. And don't quote me, but I think they came online midstream of 2nd SFAB's, life cycle standing up.
Right.
And they've been a tremendous help to us because, obviously 5 different brigades standing up the last one, us being the 5th. A lot of support is needed. And our commanding general, Brigadier General Landis, and Command Sergeant Major Trevor Walker, who is now the Southcom, or Army South Sergeant Major.
Right.
They've been a tremendous help to us. So it was a much needed lift of capability for us, Ken.
Now, did it all have? Because when you think about an SFAB, it's not. How is it structured? Is it an infantry brigade? Is it an armor brigade? Is it what's it templated on?
So that's a great question. So we are authorized 820 advisors, right? And so you look at the leadership structure within any SFAB organization, it resembles that of a classic BCT. For example, we have 2 06 colonels. My commander is a colonel. The DCO is a colonel. We have 11 sergeant majors, 35 first sergeants, 226 staff sergeants. We're just very heavy on leadership, and that's because we're broken down into 12 and 4 men, 4 soldier advising teams, and autonomy and accountability gets to the heart of how those entities are able to accomplish their mission. So leadership is paramount.
That's the next thing I was going to ask you is the selection process for this then, because at this point, what is on an advisor team? What's the normal rank? What's the normal rank component of the structure of a team, anyways?
So you'll have let's say a 12-man team. A maneuver advisor team will have a team leader who's a captain, the team sergeant first class. You'll have a fires guy who's a staff sergeant. A 25 series could be a sergeant, a 92 Yankee who's a sergeant. You have a medic who will be a sergeant as well. And all the basic components of critically enabling MOSs help to round out that 12-soldier team. In some cases, in our artillery formation, you'll have a 4-man advising team. I mean, those will have a sergeant first class, a captain, a staff sergeant, and a sergeant, all right, because their capacity and the breadth and depth of their their wheelhouse is a little bit different from that of a maneuver advising team.
Right.
Engineering, and logistics, they're broken down into smaller teams so that they can get out and really focus on their subject matter expertise that they bring to bear to our conventional foreign security forces that we partner with. Over. My bad. You got me. That's worse than saying back and brag.
That's what I'm about to say. You were trying not to say back and brag, bro.
I'm on the radio, man. My bad.
Over. Love you, man.
Still Army, man.
So for one of some of the questions. So who do you find for details? You have all that high leadership. What? Okay. So you've already mentioned. So for that specific structure for, you said maneuver and you said support advising team. Are you advising foreign partners? Because you keep saying conventional force. So you guys are not doing what SF does, right?
Right. And that's been the biggest misnomer. Look, we have the greatest special operation forces on the face of the planet. We don't need any new ones. I mean, we're the SFAB. We're conventional, right? So there are certain things that we bring to bear that a special forces unit doesn't. For example, we have a squadron, right? Our third squadron is a CAV squadron. Not very many tanks in a special forces unit. Why is that important? Because we don't partner with indigenous forces. We partner with a host nation or a foreign nation's conventional units. And so if they need mentoring or advising on how to build a defense in depth or things of that nature as it relates to maneuver assets that they have that are not indigenous, right, conventional,
right,
we bring our capabilities to bear and help coach, teach, mentor on them to enable victory through them.
Okay, so you're not doing foreign internal defense to build that indigenous force up. You're already doing with established conventional units then.
Established conventional units.
Okay. Now, so with that then, the maneuver team, so it's basically like you just said, it's a partner coalition event, and you're basically, so for instance, artillery guy is mentoring or advising on artillery
right,
conventional partner force. Yeah.
Go out, let's say they have a D-30 or what have you. Well, we train on a D-30, right? You've got individuals who were Sergeant First Classes, on the gun line, we call them the smoke man. Well, what is a smoke man? Smoke man is responsible for all the operations on a cannon, right? And so armed with that experience, we could help them build a certification program. We can help them understand how to lay their weapon system. We can help them understand how to build and sustain the proficiency needed to employ those weapon systems.
Did it at all? I mean, because are you guys ready to kick off? Did you guys think that you were going to be, especially you, we're going to be involved in the Indo-PACOM AOR? I mean, because for people that don't realize, Indo-PACOM is a large GCC compared to all the others.
Yeah, it is, and I have to go on record saying we are not officially aligned with Indo-PACOM. All right, so that is something that is potentially coming down the works right now.
Gotcha.
But I would tell you that's a vast area, and so if that mission comes to fruition, it'll present some unique dynamics. But the thing about the SFAB is that we're heavy on talent and experience, right? So everyone inside of our formation has served previously successfully in the duty position they now hold. For example, this is my second time as a brigade level CSM. Every battalion CSM is a second time battalion leader, and so on and so forth as you go down the ranks. These commanders, these young captains we have, this is not their first go of commanding. They have successfully commanded. The same with the first sergeants and every other rank that you can find, with exceptions of some smaller enabling MOSs.
Okay, so then basically this is your already, so for instance, I'm coming out of the seat as a ops sergeant major. Then if I were to be assigned here, it's another billet for me to go to be an ops sergeant major in year 3.
Let's say an operations sergeant major, for whatever reason, maybe he didn't make the CSL.
Right.
This provides him or her an opportunity to come down here because, you've got that nut under your belt, and you can come here and hone your skills with the SFAB.
You said when we had our first KLE and we were talking about the promotions and stuff. Tell us what happened. You gave me some interesting numbers, and I'll let you spit it out because this, like I said, this is your formation. What did you think about when you heard that? Okay, you're going to be leaving your career field. You're kind of like leaving your comfort zone to go do something different. How's it affected promotions for your formation?
I got to tell you, so full transparency, everyone who comes into the SFAB are already high performers, right? And so our organization is brand new. I had the honor and the opportunity of, hiring all of the first sergeants with some oversight from my division headquarters, the SFAC. Out of 18 of my first sergeants, 7 of them have been selected to go to the United States Army Sergeants Major Academy. Now, I will tell you they had strong files coming in anyway, but what happens with that, right? So the word gets out that not only they got promoted, but the culture and the climate that we have established inside here. I mean, we're exempt from all external details. We don't pull red cycle, things of that nature. And the mantra we live is, to whom much is given, much is required. What does that mean? That means you may not be pulling gate guard, but that means that you're going to be on the range, getting proficiency, mastering the fundamentals. I mean, we just had a range a few months ago. I've never been in a unit when you fired over 150,000 rounds of ammunition, man. Like with some of the best kit the Army has to provide. I've got mechanics who, with these new qualification tables, like they want to go to Ranger School, man. I mean, young men and women who have never shot expert in their life. And I got to tell you, it's a beautiful thing to see. As I do my battlefield circulation, I can remember one of the comments one of my young sergeants said, and I'm kind of paraphrasing, right? He's like, Sergeant Major, I said, you know, how do you like it? He's like, Sergeant Major, I got to tell you, this is why I joined the Army, like to train and to feel relevant, like I'm you know, a part of something. And that's not to say that his experience in his other unit wasn't, right? But what I am saying is here in the SFAB, the opportunity that exists for a young logistician, a young mechanic to come on and accept the challenge and to, you know, be all that you can be back in the day as the Army used to say. Like, I'm watching this play out before my very eyes, and I got to tell you, man, it's inspiring.
Now, so with that, how does your structure work as far as who are you under? I mean, what's your so you're under the Security Forces Assistance Command, but who's their higher headquarters?
So the Security Force Assistance Command is what you would call they're our division, right?
Right.
But the SFAC reports to ForceCom. We're out here at JBLM. We are a tenant unit, and we're great stewards, but we're also in line with First Corps, General George and his team, and they give us awesome support, right? So as a tenant unit, we're great stewards of JBLM. We adhere to all the protocols that anyone else would do underneath a senior mission commander, and there are no issues associated with it at all.
So then once the task mission, so in other words, you're basically receiving your mission just like it would be Corps or division separate or brigade separate then.
Not really. So it's a little bit more complex, and I'm trying not to, you know, violate the tentative alignment with Indo-PACOM, but let's hypothetically, you know, you could pick another region.
Right.
The bottom line is we work at the behest of the GCC commander with which we are aligned with, and the missions will come down in that manner. Now, does it mean that First Corps is totally out of the loop? Absolutely not. First Corps is tied into everything we would potentially do, and that's more for you know, situational awareness and to ensure that, you know, maybe we could provide some things that they need insights on. It's a mutual relationship.
Right.
I hope I clarified it for you.
No, it's because a lot of individuals have asked me, hey, you know, I heard you're going to have the SFAB come on. Now, does that mean you're going to, you know, what is it? How are they aligned? You know, because nobody knows their true structure, or nobody's actually been able, because you're really the first person from the SFAB or the SFAC that has come on board to talk to us, just to give us a familiarity of it. To the point to, go ahead.
Just to delve a little deeper. So the SFAC has, you know, they have an obligation to equip, man, and train the SFABs, right? Also knowing that we may potentially be aligned with the GCC, but that doesn't mean that they're not nested with some of the requirements that the GCC has for us as well.
Right.
But that also means that my CG, General Landis, is tied in with those GCC requirements. They're all communicated. And then his higher headquarters, which is obviously ForceCom, has the oversight to make sure that we're trained, we're manned, we're resourced appropriately, and to make sure that we're all in the correct direction or azimuth of fire. If that sounds
totally.
okay to you.
No. Totally. That's it. No. Again, it's for. I mean, there's obviously some operational stuff you can't talk online, but it was just more of a curiosity thing on how, you know, how would you be. I guess you'd be tasked your mission if a task would come down, and then the red cycle thing. You already got the chats going crazy. You know, sign me up. People are already going like, what? So we've already dropped on the main page. We've already dropped your links on your organization. So with that, then you also have what's your relationship with 7th ID?
7th ID has been a tremendous partner with us. Major General Brunson, Command Sergeant Major Balmer, they have supported us in the way of recruiting, messaging what the SFAB is here to do, and quite frankly, we've hired a bunch of folks from 7th ID. I mean, young, motivated individuals who just wanted a challenge.
Right.
So while 7th ID does not play an organizational role to us directly, they absolutely complement everything that we do here on JBLM.
Now, what's your relationship with the soft units on there? I've got some pictures and got some, some images that Bill was, I think, was somebody from the first Special Forces group. You guys did a shoot house, right?
Yeah, you know, I got to tell you, and that has been one of the biggest misnomers, right? So we know when the whole SFAB stood off, there was a little bit of drama that ensued. And I got to tell you, Ken, we are light years beyond that, right? First Special Forces Group here under the command of Colonel Owen Ray and Command Sergeant Major Danny Orozco could not be our biggest advocates, man. I mean, I'm not trying to just have a love fest here, but I will tell you, these professionals have done everything they could to ensure our success. Why, you might ask? Well, it's because they absolutely understand that as an SFAB, we partner with conventional forces, and we can also help to alleviate some of the conventional things in their rucksacks that they have been carrying. And it's not to say we want to take any of their missions. Absolutely not. We have 2 different missions.
Right.
But think about it. They're already set on the bones of 12-men teams, ODAs, right?
Right.
Well, they have an expertise that we have yet to understand and live. Just today we had what's called the Vanguard Academy, right? Just to give you some insight on how great our relationship is. So we got retired 1st Special Forces Group, Josh Johnson, who was the Advanced Skills Company Sergeant Major. He helps to facilitate our onboarding process with Vanguard Academy. And when you have a Green Beret standing in front of advisors telling them, hey, you guys are relevant, what you do is important, but here's how you need to understand the AOR as it's laid out in front of you. Like giving us tidbits on how to be professionals and how to conduct our mission in a professional manner. We are years beyond that petty stuff that broke out, which really got blown out of proportion. We have 3 Green Berets serving in our formation. One is our doctor. One is going to be a battalion XO, and I think the other one's going to be a battalion S3. I got to tell you, Ken, the relationship has been phenomenal.
Now, did it? Now, Bill, kind of like because we were doing some messaging stuff together earlier. You guys are now having you're like having some soft guys getting some interest with you. I mean, what's up with that? What you've been hearing? What's the feedback from them?
Well, again, the feedback has been phenomenal because we're transparent with everything. Look, there's nothing to hide with the Security Force Assistance Brigade. I mean, we are a conventional Army unit, right? A team of combined arms professionals who deploy to areas of strategic competition, partner with conventional foreign security forces, and enable them to victory. There's nothing secret about that. Where we reach out to the Soft Brothers is that, hey, they have been doing this for years or something very, very similar to it, obviously. We reach out to them on some lessons learned and how do you build a culture where autonomy reigns after you've come from a BCT where everything is dictated to you. And I got to tell you, the answer to that question is accountability. And I don't mean accountability in you're going to get an Article 15. I mean accountability in the sense that you are accountable to your brother and your sister on the 12-soldier team, right? That, to me, is the truest sense of accountability. Because when you can police up the ranks on your own and you can alleviate any judicial or non-judicial punishment, as sometimes we use as just a hammer to get away at problems, to me, that takes care of a lot of issues on your own. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, you were also saying that there was a you kind of gave me a little bit of some of the streets. I don't know if you want to talk about. You said you had to release some guys. That you had to.
Yeah, I will tell you. So one I'll say great and unique thing, right, is we have something that is called a release for standards, right? So what does that mean? The Army standard is the minimum standard that we live here in the SFAB because we are in the Army, obviously. We're conventional. However, where we have instances where we exceed the standard is like the SFAC PT standards, right? And it's not that hard. So to be an advisor, you pass assessment, you have to score a 240 with a minimum of 70 points in each event. And, unfortunately, we had a couple of folks who just couldn't quite get it. We gave them a couple of chances, and we had to release them. But look, we don't look down on them. This was obviously a relationship that could not work out professionally. So my bid to them was farewell, Godspeed, and I hope that you really work on your weaknesses so that maybe you can come back or maybe you can just help to enhance yourself and better your organization. But the bottom line is the relief for standards is something that we have not used often, but it is a tool if we have to, and hopefully we don't have to release anyone else.
Now, with that, well, let's. I mean, that was just a little tidbit that we had from our meeting. Let's talk about the initial. I'm Joe Staff Sergeant. I'm down on the line. Pick your MOS. Say I'm a tanker. Say I'm an infantryman. Say I'm an artillery man or woman. What I want to go to the SFAB. What's the first thing I do? Well, I mean, what do I got to prep for?
So the first thing you do is we obviously live in a digital age. So a staff sergeant these days is like 22 years old? Heck,
right.
I don't know, 21. So they're probably going to hit Google, right? And you put in SFAC recruiting, and the SFAC recruiting website will come up, right? However, here's the short answer. All you got to do is submit a 4187 requesting that you want to attend assessment and selection to an SFAB, right? Your company, battery, troop level commander signs it. You forwarded that to the first 05 lieutenant colonel commander in your chain of command. They either concur or non-concur. And then that 4187 gets sent up in addition to a SF600, which is a physical assessment by your doctor or your PA. That's going to go up to SFAC. You then will have a DROG scrub, which is derogatory information in your background. It could come up clean, or if it's not, well, sorry, you probably can't show up for the SFAB.
You know, that's
come back clean, and you go ahead.
I know somebody had a question in there. Do you have to do a position of trust, like how drill sergeants and how EO advisors? Do you guys do that as well?
Well, it's very similar to it.
Right.
You go through a DROG scrub, which is not as tedious as that, but you're going to do a surface level scrubbing of any derogatory information, right? So, not one and the same, but still a pretty thorough screening, if that answers your question.
Right. Okay.
HRC is going to scrub all.
I was about to say, because HRC does that most of the work, anyways.
Right. We don't do it. HRC does it.
Right. So then after that, I get my packet. I get my packet ready to go, and I'm approved.
Now you're going to get an ATARS reservation for assessment and selection in beautiful Fort Bragg, North Carolina, which that's going to change to Benning here soon. However, you get that ATARS date for assessment and selection. You're going to go TDY to Fort Bragg. You'll be there for about 3 to 4 days, depending upon travel. And you're going to sit down with whatever your MOS is, right? You're going to take some tests on your MOS skill set. You're going to be graded. You're going to go through a series of boards. The board president will be a SFAB battalion commander, a command sergeant major, and a first sergeant. You're going to answer some ethical dilemma essays, and they're going to ask you some situational questions. Really get a thorough assessment as much as you can glean from one's character, right? And then you're also going to do some physical things, right? You're going to take an APFT. You're going to do an obstacle course. You're going to do some team building events, right? A team leader development course of sorts, right? And you're going to do a foot march, all right? And then after that, you will be assessed. Hopefully you'll get voted on. You will then be aligned to the priority of manning for whatever SFAB has the priority. And, oh, by the way, on your 4187, you can list the places you want to go. You can list 5th, 1st, or what have you, Fort Bragg, Fort Hood, you name a spot. But you will be aligned with the priority, right? Now, one caveat. If you are on JBLM or any place where an SFAB is, right, you can stay with that servicing SFAB unless you make a request to go someplace else. However, if the priority does not provide you an opportunity to go to Fort Bragg and you're at JBLM, it may not work out.
Right.
Is that your question?
Yeah, totally makes sense. I mean, most of it, we had some questions in the chat about some of the slating. What is the average tour time allowed to be spent in the SFAB, and is there a slating process to retain or release?
Yes and yes. So the average, everyone's going to get 36 months, right? You're locked in for 36 months, all right? However, that doesn't mean that if you're in for 36 months and you get, promoted, do I got to leave right away? Do I stay? Well, it depends, because what we don't want to do is hijack talent from the operational force. And we also want to make sure that you go back out and get some key developmental time as needed, right? But all that is nuanced, right? So if you're aligned with a deployment, you got promoted, but you're with your team, it's probably not a good idea to release you. However, when you come back, we're going to get you on the first thing smoking so that you can get your KD time so that you don't fall behind your peers. And who knows, maybe you come back to the SFAB. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think some of it too is there was something to the point where if you were going to go through and this was before we changed our evaluation board or selection boards to evaluation boards, that there was going to be an exceptionally qualified as opposed to a qualified. I guess it'd be more advantageous that you would be in an exceptionally qualified position if you were serving at the SFAB. Does that still hold true?
Okay, so you're talking about board guidance, right?
Right.
So yeah, there is a message out that talks about, I can't talk about board guidance in depth for obvious reasons.
Right.
I think what everyone knows is that it has been put out that, those serving in an SFAB will have some board guidance saying, hey, give these guys and girls special consideration because this is what's considered a tactical broadening assignment. And in some capacities with, especially the MOSs, we can give you KD time. I hope that answers it.
Right. And that's the thing. So some of that KD time, can it be an equivalent to, or is it just a one specific skill set? Or, I mean, you know what I mean? Because there's some individual, like say an Intel guy or an EOD guy. Can you guys provide that KD time for those specific CMFs?
Well, so EODs, were not authorized to hire any 89 Deltas at this time. Huge story on that one, so I won't bore you with all the details, right? However, let's take a 42 Alpha for 42 Alpha human resources, right?
Right.
We can provide a 42 Alpha with some KD time here because we have battalions, right? And one of those things to be KD complete is you got to be a battalion human resource NCO. Well, guess what? I got some first class battalion human resource slots here, right? So MOSs like that we can work with. Where really hard KD time comes into play is MOSs like 13 Foxes, 11 Bravos, 19 Deltas. You really need to have your KD time before you come to us, because really we're defeating the purpose in saying that you need to be a seasoned advisor and you don't have KD time. Does that answer it?
Yeah, I think most of it is because of the unknown. Like you're like the whole community in itself it's new already, so there's a lot of questions with that. So what skill sets are you looking for? I mean, I know you had the last 100 campaign rolling, so that we helped out on. So what's the big ones you're looking for?
So I'll tell you right now, and so I got to be honest, there's some monetary incentives associated with the SFAB. And I don't like to talk about it. I will, because I'm being transparent. I would like to think that most soldiers want to join the SFAB for the culture and the opportunity and the training and some of the cool things you get to do. However, I know we people are people, and sometimes incentives drives your decisions, right? So Ken, I got to tell you, man, some of these bonuses, I've never seen this before in my life. So right now, we need 35 series, 92 series, 13 Foxes. What else? I'm looking at my list right here.
You're looking for Myanmar. You're looking for PSYOP too.
7-4 Delta PSYOPs, and some of these MOSs, brace yourself. Some of these MOSs have a tier 8 bonus on the latest release bonus messages, $58,000, right? That's not even including the $5,000 at assignment incentive pay that all enlisted soldiers get.
Wait. Say that again. So whoa. Go back up. What was that additional to the $5,000 assignment incentive pay?
See, that's why I don't like talking about it, man. But,
well, I mean, come on. That's a little. I mean, it helps, bro. When you got a kind of little some coin like that.
It does. I mean, yeah. So a tier 8, and some of the MOSs I just rattled off, and they can go back and research. If you go tier 8, some of these MOSs you can get $58,000, right? But in addition to that, every enlisted soldier gets a $5,000 AIP. When you graduate CAT-C, which is the Combat Advisor Training Course, if you're in a coded advisor position, you're then authorized to draw $75 a month duty pay, special duty pay, right? But I say all that, I'm gonna tell you, man, to whom much is given, much is required. I mean, you're gonna work for all that money that you're getting. So
exactly.
And the only reason I say I don't like to talk about it is because, listen, there should be no delusion here. You're gonna work for every penny that you get.
Right.
Right. But good professionals understand that. I mean, I hope so.
Well, like you were saying, just the environment before I asked. I mean, again, because I think that's the nobody believe. I think what it is, the incentive though, bro. I think it's because of the no one. It's like too good to be true type shit. You know what I mean? There's wait a minute, because the assignment incentive pay. There's some special operations units that the only specific MOSs get that, and you guys are conventional and you get that right off the hook. You know, right off the bat.
Right.
Is there any plans? Because I know since the plan is, I'll say the plan is, so that way there's nothing verified. Is the plan, once everybody is geographically aligned to their GCCs, there's got to be some advanced schooling coming down, right? Like you have language school.
We've got advanced schooling coming down now. I mean,
right.
Language is still being worked out, but it's more along the lines of cultural training. Because I mean, think about, how how many languages they speak in certain areas. I mean,
yes.
You really get more bang for your buck, in my opinion, when advisors are trained culturally sound and aware with maybe some basic language. Because I mean, you're talking languages that some people don't even have skill sets to train. However, I mean, there is a language culture facility here that we have access to, and I know that SFAC is trying to work out the future with regards to language training. To your point to schooling, I will tell you that is one of the things that my advisors love the most. I mean, I've got a young man who has gone to 5 schools since he's been here. I mean, battle staff, foreign weapons course, Cat C, CRC. We send folks to CRC as well, so that's a fun school.
Right.
But I mean, schools that people otherwise would have never had the opportunity to partake in, you know?
In your mission sets, because I know there's some GCC requirements to have certain training, and also are you guys involved? How far are you involved with the country team, with the embassies that are in the country? I mean, because I know in my past work, you kind of had to work with the embassy, you had to kind of work with the country team to do stuff. Is it going to be pretty much that same type of relationship?
It's going to be the same type of relationship. I mean, those things are being built out as we speak right now, because that gets to the wheelhouse of how we get to where we're going and how we establish relationships. I mean, you have to go through those country teams. As such, you got to be educated on the process, and these young captains and sergeants and so on have to understand with whom I am speaking with to get inside of the country to start doing good work.
Right.
So you're right.
Right.
And that is being established as we speak.
Okay. Yeah. Because a lot of it is, I know, and I want to kind of say that when it comes to the SFAB and SOF, it's almost like a parallel event between after we do FID, you guys are doing the I guess you'd say the last 100 feet, the last 100 slots, whatever you want to call it. Because we say the last 3 feet, you guys are saying pretty much like when we leave, when we're done, you're continuing that capacity that we established, or other organizations have established. Did you have any inkling that, okay, well, now this is serious? I mean, did you think, oh man, this is going to be a global event? I mean, that it hasn't hit you yet?
Oh, it's hit me, brother. Trust me. It has hit me, and it is sobering, and it is awesome. And here's what I mean by awesome, right? I mean, it's humbling when you really take in the talent that's surrounding you, right? And I don't mean that to be dramatic, man.
No, I hear you.
When you look at a young, I keep saying mechanics because those are the ones who have been the most successful. I mean, the infantry dudes and 13 Foxes, let's face it, those guys shoot all day, all right? The last thing I'm worried about is an infantryman building lethality with, shooting on the range.
Right.
But some of our young mechanics, some of our young, even intel folks, some of our young signaleers, 25 series, our supply clerks. I mean, to watch them on a range, we had the Army Marksmanship Unit here and the 75th Ranger Regiment that helped us put on what was called Operation Lethal Vanguard when we just shot up all those rounds. I got to tell you, when it started, it was ugly. But when it was done, I was like, dude, she is really working with that weapon system. And I mean, not only working with the weapon system, qualifying expert, Ken. I mean, and I had a moment where I thought, this is how we're supposed to be living life. Like, no matter what unit we're in. But I also know that we in the SFAB have what I call first world problems, all right? And that has not escaped me. We don't contend with taskings. We don't put up with all the things that other units put up with. And again, my biggest thing is I want my advisors to know we have no entitlement here. Like, once you put on that brown beret and you've earned your way into the ranks of an advisor, you're entitled to nothing. The only thing we're entitled to is outstanding leadership.
Right.
Right. And so we look at this thing from a stewardship perspective, because guess what? 3 years when you're done, you should leave us. You come to us as a Sergeant First Class. When you leave here, you should go be an awesome first sergeant somewhere. All right. So now we have become a combat multiplier in some sorts. Well, we have sent a first sergeant back who can now help run a company, troop, or battery at a level of proficiency that some people still struggle with to this day.
Yeah, I don't. Is it now? I'm sure you've taken some of the stuff up the chain. Has any of the lessons learned from the commands? Have they been a, hey, you need to this is something we need to do throughout the Army?
Well, I don't know throughout the Army, because the SFAB has a unique mission set, so I don't even know if it's doable throughout the Army. But I know what is doable throughout the Army is steadfast leadership. Right. And so I think once you come here and you build a bedrock of leadership that has been honed in an SFAB, it is truly incumbent upon us to get those guys and girls back out to the force, because that's how we're going to win this, Ken.
Right.
It's not about standing up other SFABs. It's about exposing leaders to a culture that can be carried to your next organization. Yep. Right? It's almost akin to the Rangers have what's called the charter. Right. But they serve in a regiment and they go back out and they do their charter time, and the thought being that, hey, all the goodness that you learned in a Ranger regiment, it now just gets spread out through the operational force, and then you come back. Well, with us, it's very much similar, man. I mean, you learn all these great things, then go back out and make your units better.
Right.
Now you solve the problem that you complained about when you came to us, because the SFAB is not the place that you're going to run to because you hate your unit. Those folks get it out quickly.
I was about to say, I remember you telling me about those are the ones that usually go. Well, those are the ones that usually don't make it.
They don't make it
Or,
because it's the mentality.
Right,
man. You know,
right.
you have to listen. I would rather someone who has commitment over a compliance attitude, because you can get compliance all day long. I can tell you what to do all day long and you will comply. Dude, I don't want that.
Right.
I want you. We need you to be committed to the team. Are you committed to those 12 men and women that you're assigned to? Are you committed to the organization? Because you ultimately have to be committed, and that's what's going to matter here.
Right. The so another question here is the new ACFT part of the SFAB selection when you guys are how are you guys dealing with that? Because I know the COVID drama is happening. So what are you guys doing to, I guess, supplement the assessment selection for you guys?
Yeah, I can tell you right now, we're doing a virtual COVID ANS. We are scheduled to start the new physical ANS where you actually go to Fort Bragg. It was discussed, and the ACFT was going to become a part of this, but we have to go back and relook and assess how we're going to do it, because, you know, the guidance came down with ACFT. So we want to do what's fair and what's advantageous to the soldiers, but we also want to make sure that we have the correct barometer for physical fitness. And thus the 270, I mean, as you were 240 with 70 in each event, will continue to be the standard until we can work out how the whole ACFT implementation is going to work.
Right. Hey, what do you think of the new guidance that just came out with no photos for officers and then NCOs and warrants later? What do you think about that?
You know, I would tell you, man, I think change is good, right? Yeah, I've got 25 years in, and most of the time it's us old folks who always want to push back on things.
Yeah,
but,
I hear you.
Just like SFAB, that was a change. That was a curveball, and all the naysayers came out. I'm at a point in my life professionally where I try to take in change and understand everything that comes with it, right? And so I can totally get on board with what the Army's trying to do. I mean, let's face it, the Army is trying to solve a problem that, you know, some folks they're not comfortable with discussing, right? And so transparency is the key. We preach being transparent in everything we do. Well, then maybe this is a way we can get at transparency. I can't shoot the plan down because I'm not opposed to it. But
Right.
my thing is, I want to continue to learn what the change is about, embrace it, and educate soldiers so that we don't just create a whole bunch of rumors and bad attitudes.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. At first, we were kind of, I mean, well, we'll admit it, we were kind of joking around and like you were saying before in our meeting, we were throwing up the means and busting on you guys a little bit, but in the end, I mean, it kind of stopped. Like you said to me, and I mean, I hope it's okay to talk about it. You said the memes are going and jokes and the clowning in the military is always going to be out there. So
Right.
And so most of the things that go ahead.
Right. I mean, listen, if a soldier can't laugh, then something is wrong, and I'm cool with that. I mean, I go on U.S. Army WTF all day just praying I'm not on it. You know?
So back and brag. So does Bill.
But, I mean, I'm joking, but you know, it is what it is, because, you know, we're people, man. You want to laugh.
Right.
And at the end of the day, our soldiers need a release, right? I just hope and pray that soldiers who still don the uniform realize that, you know, releasing is cool, but being professional at all times should be paramount too.
Right.
Because there's a good way to laugh and enjoy things and not violate anything.
Well,
you know
of course,
what I mean?
right. So there's a lot of questions now on the civilian side. Do you have any DoD civilians, any the civilian assets, any contractors? Do you have what's your makeup with that personnel in your formation?
We actually do have DoD civilians. I think that hiring process is pretty much done. A victim advocate, and a psychologist as well. So yeah, and I think they're both hired.
Oh, a psychologist. Now, is it psychologists? This is for the personnel that are going. That are assigned for the unit, or are they advising as well? What's the?
This is for our organization, right?
Okay.
Mental health, obviously.
Wow. Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That is awesome. Because most, I don't even think about it. Most, we're used to hearing psychologists. Well, into my realm, we're used to hearing it. But it's kind of awesome to have to know that there's one in a conventional Army unit to help your guys. Have you had Have you had anybody, I don't know, any propose any new like training positions or any? Because I think some of our mechanic guys are like, do you have any aircraft? Do you have any tanks? Do you have any strikers? What's your vehicle makeup?
No, we have no, strikers or anything like that. We have some 1152s, and our mechanics are not. They're mechanics, but they're hired to be advisors. We have contracted maintenance right now. And so some of our mechanics, they do PMCS and they help out. They don't shirk out on everything that soldiers are supposed to do. They still do good PMCS like a good soldier is supposed to. But in all honesty, we do have contracted maintenance to augment our capacity to do that, because let's face it, once we get busy, there's no time for an advisor mechanic to be in a motor pool, because that's not, the Army hired you to be an SFAB advisor forward, like doing things.
Right. Right. Did it have, is it kind of like it's like a new jumper? Is there kind of, there has to be some, it's an initiative based organization, so is after you guys are out there rocking it, do you feel like there's some I don't know, cold feet, some stage fright a little bit with some advisors coming out of the schoolhouse, or are they just, the schoolhouse is doing pretty good to kind of alleviate that?
You know what, that's a great question. I was talking about this the other day. Cold feet, I don't know if I would say this, but here's what I would tell you. I think advisors come back from Cat C, a vast amount of confidence, right? But more so, you see cold feet when a new individual is trying to get acclimated to the unit, right? But let me tell you where it's special. So we got guys who served in a Ranger regiment and soft all between, right? So we run the gamut from super hardcore soft dudes who once used to live that life to a straight conventional guy just like me. Nothing special about me, right? Only my mom loves me. But I will tell you, when you see these soft guys who live this life get exposed to these young conventional soldiers, it ups their level of play, Ken. Like, I keep going back to my mechanics. I've got mechanics now because they're exposed to this hardcore super duper dude who came from 275. They want to go to Ranger school.
That's
awesome.
Everything
about the way they carry themselves is different. It's really cool to watch. I hope I don't sound like I'm on some kind of soap opera, because
not everything is perfect. That's our role as non-commissioned officers, though, man. It's we motivate, we want to instill and inspire, so that way that soldier goes out and does their best and gives it 100% for them, for themselves and their teammates. I know what it's like to, we've been there before, being young Joes and want to impress our NCOs and do the right thing and all that. That's inspiring, man.
So at Lethal Vanguard, we had a young, a 42 Alpha, all right, who had never really been exposed to all this shooting before. But I got to tell you, man, her battle buddies around her, all combat arms, guess what she did? She freaking qualified expert. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, she got out there in these new tables and got after it. When so many times before you would see this young lady or any other mechanic or any specialty MOS sit dejected in the bleachers while no one trained her. Isn't that a shame?
Yeah,
right?
that's.
It doesn't happen all the time, but let's just be real. To watch something that could have potentially become dejection turn into success, man, if that doesn't motivate you, I don't know what does.
Right. It obviously inspires probably the leaders to want to stay even more. Like you were saying, it probably gives them some new energy too.
Absolutely.
You know what I know. I get the energy from the Joes, and that's the way I am too. I when I see someone learning, you see that light coming on, and you get pumped up. You're like, wow, man, this is awesome. So speaking of the equipment, you guys got some kit. You guys got some stuff that I haven't seen since I was in. You know what I mean? So
you saw that, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, man. I was like, oh my God, how do I put this on?
Exactly. I was like, wait a minute, this is some of that. And you guys are using up to date weapons. You guys have new pistols. You guys have the new
17. Fight on that expert. It's a pretty awesome weapon system.
Yeah, you guys. I'm just like, what the hell? So you got good equipment. You got outstanding. You got outstanding Joes coming into you. You got a pretty decent selection. You got actually an awesome selection process, and you have I don't want to say weed out process, but you have expectations of your organization that have to be met. And then so what's up? So with the future, now we're talking about the alignment stuff. I know you can't get into too much details of it, but of the Indo-PACOM AOR, how did the SFAC decide to go geographic? Like, what was the reasoning why they decided to pick a GCC?
Here's what I will say. The Chief of Staff of the Army and higher echelons, you know, they're the ones who depict or who determine who gets regionally aligned with how it all shakes out, right?
Right.
And so with some conversations with ForceCom, with some conversations with GCCs, hopefully this whole thing will get meshed out, you know, and then the SFAC, obviously, they will fall in suit to help facilitate our alignment. So that's pretty much how that whole process hopefully is going to work out.
Yeah, because I'm curious, because I know you already have, we have like first SFAB has already gone to Southcom, right? They've already done their mission down there in Colombia. You got guys getting ready to go to Africa. How you guys you expected to work with the Navy or work with the Marine Corps as well, since they're heavily involved in the PACOM AOR?
I would assume that at some point, if it comes to fruition, I mean, working with our joint brothers and sisters is probably going to happen. I mean, that's just a given. But right now, and you know, we have some dealings with our Air Force brothers too, for obvious reasons.
Right.
We haven't really gotten to that part yet, but I mean, I would assume that if it all unfolds, that we would absolutely do the coordination that we're supposed to from a joint perspective. Yes.
Right. Do you now? This is your own. This is from Ken to Rob. Do you think the SFAC is going to get bigger? Do you think it's going to be a bigger? Because you guys now there's like a National Guard one too, right?
Yep, the 54th.
What is it? The same setup? Set up like a BCT?
Same setup, same. You know, all the processes assigned to us, they reside in the 54th. Great Americans.
So where are they assigned out
of? I thought it was in Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken. But they have folks spread out all over the.
Right, I was about to say that because they're headquarters now because we have some people that are in the reserve component. So the assessment and selection for the National Guard. That's why I asked about the National Guard. They have a National Guard assessment and selection. Do you know about anything? I know it's Guard. It's probably different, but is it pretty much the same selection process for them?
No, it should be the same process as what I'm tracking. There should be no difference in the ANS selection criteria.
Right. Awesome. So then, what's up for you after this? I mean, you just got there, right?
I've been on the ground for a year now. I am having fun, Ken. I'll be honest with you, man. If this is my last job, I'm like Michael Jordan with 3 seconds left, and I hit that shot over Byron Russell as he fell at my feet, man. I really mean that, brother. I mean, I have never enjoyed a job, and I know you're probably saying, yeah, he's a sergeant major, he's saying it. Dude, I've never enjoyed a job the way that I enjoy this one. I mean, I've got a great boss. I've got a great DCO. Got great non-commissioned officers around me. We get after hard PT, man. They tried to kill me this morning with that.
I saw that, man. I returned a video back at you guys, me doing a plank, and I was like, God, man.
Dude, I'm trying to tell you, man. Like, these Ranger dudes, man, they trying to break those sergeant major off. But I like it. You know, it motivates them. It keeps me in shape. But you know what it also does? It shows your presence as a leader. Right? I mean, just being there, you know, doing PT with your soldiers, man. Eating chow with your soldiers. To me, those leadership things are important, man. You know, when you want to have a great conversation, have it over a meal in a dining facility with your soldiers and watch the world unfold. Right. I mean, that's my perspective on leadership.
No, exactly.
Sometimes I think we've gotten away from that. Sitting on the back of a Humvee on a gun line in a foxhole, you know, over a cold MRE as we both embrace the suck, but we also unpack things in our lives and how we dealt through those issues.
Oh, brother, you ain't lying, man. Memories are made in the suck, man, not in the office.
Roger that.
Well, hey, Rob, thanks for hanging out with us. We really appreciate you coming on, and we want to thank the special the Security Forces Assistance Command to allow you to come on here, and your boss too.
Man, thank you, Ken. Hey, you didn't scuff me up too bad, man. I feel like I got over a little bit.
Nah, man. Well, I've known you for a little bit, so we cool. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's everybody else that gets the. I'm just kidding. Like I said, it's like I said, it's low key, bro. That's how we do it over here. And again, we thank you guys so much. We thank ForceCom for letting you guys come on too. We're gonna go ahead and take a break right quick, and then you know, me and Rob are gonna shoot the breeze a little bit during the break, and then but thank you guys and gals. For listening to us, and we'll be right back. So go refill your glasses, go take a leak, and get some shots. Stand by.
Drinking till I comatose, or I pass out on the floor. You got me staring at Right here, right now. I'm better without you. You're always on my mind. Right here, right now. I'm better without you. I've done this for some time. But right now, I know that I'm better on my own.
Looking up and fading out, cirrus shapes I found blow me away. Van Allen right around, pushing through. Skin is brown, nature has us trapped in fear, so I get lost in sound. I wonder if you'll ever know why I am the way I am. I've been thinking a lot about time and space surrounding. Is there anyone who is thinking like me? I've been thinking a lot about life is never ending. Is there anyone who is thinking like me? Constellation theme, mapping stars they're meant to be. Geminis are free of suicidal kings. This misty maze of me, so obvious yet never seen. Feeling though the fog will lift to find me lost at sea. I've been thinking a lot about time and space surrounding. Is there anyone who is thinking like me? I've been thinking a lot about life is never ending. Is there anyone who is thinking like me? Myself and I am so lost, it's beautiful, far away from life. But I want your visible feeling to be mine. Oh, I just don't get it. When will your heart beat with my mind? I've been thinking a lot. I've been thinking a lot about time and space surrounding. Is there anyone who is thinking like me? I've been thinking a lot about life is never ending. Is there anyone who is thinking like me?
closed off mind due to the ones who granted you
Hey, this is SEAC retired John Wayne Troxel. You're listening to WTF Nation Radio, the station of choice for all of the badass MFers on the planet.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
And we're back with the last portion of Sergeant's Time. Hey, we got to talk about some. We got some breaking right now. If you guys are not paying it, indeed. You guys not see anything on the COVID front? There is an organization that right now. What's the deets you got there on Spanky? What was that? What happened?
Oh, let me pull it up real fast. Hold on.
Yeah, it was the. It looks like it's a. Looks like First Cav.
Yeah, those guys.
Those guys
used to be near and dear to my heart until just an hour ago.
Just so it appears that said if someone is infected or thought to be infected with COVID that the 1st Brigade is going to risk infecting the entire crew just for the sake of USR, I guess by taking them out to the field? Is that what I'm reading? Am I reading that right?
Right. I think so. It says,
well, let's go ahead and I got the matter of fact, let's pull the memorandum up. Let's just pull the memorandum.
I got the memo up.
All right, let's get the memo up. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Okay, so policy applies to all your horse individual units. Yeah, personnel. Yeah. Additional risk mitigation. Yeah, troops identified with COVID positive or presumed positive will be separated in the field. Wow. I think that means they're taking them to the field, right? Is that what it looks like?
That's what it sounds like to me.
They're taking their soldiers to the field. Let me say that again. They're taking so they're positive. They're positively going to take their soldiers to the field, or if they've been tested positive. You see on 4 Alpha, troopers identified as a COVID positive or pressured positive or presumed positive will be separated in the field. Separated in the field.
What in the CDC?
What in the quarantine is going on here? This is what's this is the what?
I mean,
separated in the field.
Why do I have to wear a mask to go buy a 6-pack of beer in the Class 6 if y'all are doing this?
Why do I do that?
Hello.
No need to.
Tell me why I need to wear a mask to go on post shopping.
Right. No need to.
Y'all are doing this bullshit.
Right. There's no need to at all. You don't have to worry about that. As a matter of fact, so there's no mask compliance. So I'll just say that again. The units will consult with the medical authorities to determine if the trooper requires hospitalization. If the medical authorities determine that the trooper only needs to be isolated or quarantined, then the trooper will be quarantined along with that trooper's crew to continue to train. The quarantine requirement is 14 days to be enforced by the unit. Crews and vehicles that have been exposed will be quarantined and marked for identification. Daytime identification of a vehicle will be marked with engineer tape and antennas. Nighttime identification will be marked with 2 chem lights. I just really... Am I really reading this right? Is that what it says?
No, you're absolutely reading this right. So let's, so there's one guy positive. Let's just expose the whole fucking crew now.
Right. Because of 14 days.
And get them all positive.
I want to know who the medical authorities are.
Please tell me, which PA, which Surgeon General, who the fuck said this was a good idea? I'm sure it was nobody, except for whoever's worried about their goddamn slides.
I'll be honest with you. This is because there's some individuals that may not realize they have some sort of underlying health conditions or something like that that could come out and.
Oh, absolutely.
What if somebody has asthma?
Motherfucking quick.
Yeah.
I know, and I didn't find out I had asthma until I got sick with pneumonia.
So they're gonna be. So if you see night, so at night if you see night chem lights rolling around the field. If you see chem lights rolling on the field, those individuals are infected. All right. That's if you go to this exercise here. In addition to the bubble and fire break concept. Is that some sort of new? Is that a new battle drill we have? Is that a new battle drill?
I guess.
The bubble and fire break. The bubble and fire break concept. Units will set up a designated area in each training area for quarantine troopers. The area will be marked for identification by engineer tape. No trooper will sleep indoors, to include towers, VCEs, or AAR shacks.
Okay, so this is. I mean, this is like thunderstorm season around here. It's happening daily right now. They're not very, severe the last week, but they're happening daily.
Oh my gosh, this is
You have the COVID, you have to come out to the field, and you can't sleep inside.
And you can't sleep inside.
In the goddamn thunderstorm.
We're not going to put you inside with the rest of the troops. We're going to leave you in your vehicle. However, you cannot in an area that's been marked off with engineer tape. Troopers will undergo temperature and symptom checks with the medics twice daily. This includes screening of quarantine troopers to monitor for any change in conditions, and units report the results of these checks with each per stat report. So how do you?
But they already have it.
They already have it.
If they're positive, they're spreading it.
They're gonna be all over. They're already.
It doesn't matter if you're young and healthy and it's not affecting you.
Oh
but
my
you
God.
haven't.
Right.
And you're fucking spreading it. What in the entire fuck? This is why. Okay, yes, Texas is like starting to look like fucking New York was like last month. Because the numbers are blowing up here right now. They
Right.
are. You can see
Right.
it. Yes, that's probably because all of a sudden everybody's getting tested or whatever. And it probably is a lot of like, people that, okay, it's not affecting them that badly. But it doesn't mean that it's not going to affect everybody. That's the whole fucking reason behind quarantine and isolating the people that have it.
You were
Bring them to the fucking field
you
with
were-
their goddamn fucking crew.
you were
so they can all have it. What in the is this like?
Yeah.
Is this not common sense?
Holy Walking Dead, right?
Like
Holy outbreak.
I want to go up there and like look at this guy in the face and like, who the fuck? What? I mean, this does not take more than 3 hours of health class in 8th grade to figure this out.
This is like field sanitation basic stuff. You ever kind of notice that already? That a lot of the field sanitation tasks is what people don't do already. You know what I mean? It's
right. Wash your hands. Wipe your ass.
Wipe your hand. Yeah, wash your hand. It's standard. It's like standard manners. Cover your mouth when you cough. Chew with your mouth closed. There is a reason why gentlemen back in the day, men used to walk with the handkerchiefs in the pocket. So that way they, like that. And if the lady didn't have it, then guess what, lady? Here's my snot rag. That's why you had it. Where there was etiquette to that stuff. There was always washing your hands. There was a lesson in hygiene. There was how to use soap, why you use wash rags and stuff like that. But when you're doing that, you got freaking.
Let's bring.
I have an idea. Let's bring everybody out to the fields. Sir, the enlisteds are quite rowdy right now. Why is that? They're infected right now. Well, did you put them in the engineer tape perimeter? Yes, we did, sir. Sergeant Major, hold my mirror up. Cav. Sorry. Oh man. I can't believe I just read that. I can't believe I read that on air. I can't believe the entire Twitter sphere saw that. I can't believe everybody, our audience is going to see that on YouTube, Mixer, and Facebook, when of course it's working. Dude, Mark the soldiers with glow sticks. Sword, I don't feel good. Hang on. What are you doing? Put this in your pocket. But it's a chem stick. That's right. You're infected.
Right? Just have them hang it from their nose.
Just like,
or their mouth.
Yeah,
or whatever.
just have it hanging out of their pocket. Oh my god, dude. So first cab, that's already been sent out. Oh gosh. Okay. All right, let's get to business about this stuff. There were some individuals that reached out to me and wanted to talk about some specific situations and scenarios that are currently happening with the search of Vanessa Guillen. Like we posted in the video before, we're going to post a video after. We always post the from what the DCG from 3 Corps had posted already with information and numbers. So of course everybody knows about the active search that's being conducted for Vanessa Guillen, and we're also talking about the death of the other kid that they found. What was his name?
Gregory Morales.
Gregory Morales. That's right. So Gregory Morales right now. Everybody is. There's a lot of rumit. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of conjecture, and the reason why there's a lot of individuals that have asked us, hey, ICE, how come you guys didn't really post this on the main page? How come you guys didn't really do this stuff for the main page? And I'm thinking, well, the reason why is because we have to go by the authorities from the Public Affairs Office and the Criminal Investigation Division. We have to. We just can't throw all that information on all that. And sometimes we are maybe assisting or providing information to those organizations, and we just, hey, look, anytime somebody asks us about this stuff, we direct them to you. Anytime somebody has a question with this, we direct them to you, because we're third party or sometimes fourth party, and if it's a tip, then of course you'd go ahead and follow the tip. It is so crazy how everything's now exploded on Gregory Morales' situation with the stories and the rumors and all that. There's one right now that there was a post that was, I think, by his mother, right? That the military, she stated, and this is a quote, and I'm not going to throw it all up there because I don't want her business to be out there. I'm just going to paraphrase it and read some excerpts out of it. Is that she was stating that the military is not wanting to take responsibility and have not reinstated her son's military status. He was not AWOL or deserter. He was murdered. And this is her statement, of course, and she deserves all honor and respect due to the soldier. And she was asking for congressional assistance. Well, there's processes in place that have to happen between that we have to follow. There's, I mean, I know from what you were talking about the S1 stuff that there's procedural things that have to happen before they get marked as. There are things that have to be placed according to the military that have to get reported a specific way before another portion gets reported. That's what I've been getting told too.
Yeah, the way I was looking at it, and there is nothing in the reg that says if okay, there's just no nice way to put this. If a soldier, was found murdered, and obviously we got to wait. They have to wait till the findings, like what actually happened to him. I guess it's going to be determined about like the time of death,
right?
Or when, and everything. The way I look at it, like, I was reading through the reg. He is still, I guess, in my opinion, and I guess this is an opinion too, and I would not be at the level to make that call. He has still been returned to military control, and that's what they call it when if you come off of deserter status or AWOL status.
Correct. That's the
way I see it.
Right. So he's yeah. I mean, obviously that means because his remains recovered. So with that,
and even if a soldier gets arrested and is put in a civilian jail, you can do the paperwork because now you know where they are.
Correct. He's accounted for. That it's an accountability report.
So he's accounted for.
He's accounted for now. Exactly. And that's what people are kind of missing. You have all those freaking barracks lawyers out there and all those. See, now everybody is an automatic. You notice that? That's been the trend lately on social media. Everyone's either a freaking scientist, epidemiologist, or freaking a heart surgeon, a cardiologist. A pulmonologist. They've been a sergeant major even though they've only been in the Army for not even 6 years. You have all that expertise flying the fuck out. But then again, when it comes to other stuff like that, all of a sudden they really misquote statuses and that of the SWAN, of the S1, of the personnel section. Because I'll tell you what, Morgan and you are my points of contact when it comes to that expertise. I'm always bugging you. You get the question. I mean, sometimes I'll be like, "Hey,"
and I have to go look it up. Usually,
well, I mean,
I've never been in this situation.
Right. Well, not to mention the fact that you're also looking up and reconfirming it. So when you guys are doing the S1 stuff, I expect a delay in response. I'm obviously not going to be like, it's going to happen real quick or whatever. When you explained it to me that way, then I was able to go, okay, this needs to get reported up, because now there's been an update. Gregory Morales' mother has provided that update, and she admits on her Facebook post that she says, quote, "I guess I jumped the gun. Until the autopsy report comes back, they have to list his date as death as Friday the 19th, which leaves him in an AWOL status when the report comes back, saying that he's been gone 10 months and they can reinstate his status, but in the meantime, he can't have military service like he deserves for right now. So please keep emailing and calling the appropriate people, and then call John Carr, who is our full hood. Greg deserves justice, of course, and a right to a military funeral." So again,
right.
That update right there, it's a procedural thing, and I think in this case there was also some other other circumstances involved too. I'm not going to get into the drama of it, but there's other circumstances, and I don't want to fuck with the case. Anything that we get goes straight to CID or Fort Hood anyways. But it just, I'm glad that she updated that to kind of tamper, to kind of stamp the dumpster fire that was about.
She doesn't know military procedure.
Exactly.
And someone needs to explain that to her.
Right. Exactly. Exactly that. Right. And I was about to say, cause it's just how funny that, how odd, I should say, not funny, how Vanessa has been missing for a while, but it took social media to really bring it up. And she was missing. Well, both of them have been missing. He was missing since like August or something like that.
Right. And it was, at least here locally, I know his case didn't make it to like the national media, like, Vanessa's case is, but here locally, when he first went missing, it was, on like the local news, and it did take a while. It wasn't like right after he went missing, but it did make it around here,
right?
And all the local social media, I guess you could say, and it was like on our local papers and our local news channels
Right.
and stuff. But it didn't blow up as much.
Well,
I can say that.
Well, like Stefan, they have to declare soldiers, Stefan. They have to declare them. They have to declare them AWOL. I mean, they're gonna say they're just missing.
Yes.
You know, there's no missing in action stuff. There's a absent without leave. AWOL just sounds bad. You know what I mean? It does.
And it does.
It has a.
And they are. Vanessa is AWOL. You know, it doesn't.
Right. It's not a bad thing. She's missing. Yeah,
right.
exactly. But she's declared missing. The whole. I don't like getting in the dynamics because when people start nitpicking and start, oh no, because of this, I'm like, I'm not even going to get that because I'm only briefing up and providing you what Morgan tells me, what you tell me, and then what Fort Hood tells me. That's the important thing. The chain of command. That's what they tell me. If they tell me that's what it is, then that's here's the status. Then all that.
And there are steps you are supposed to take when your soldier goes AWOL, and
Correct.
one of them is, and I believe it's within 10 days or around the 10-day mark, is contacting their next of kin.
Right. To give them,
like, hey,
yep,
have you seen your kid or your
to
wife
give them
or your
status.
husband
Right.
or that's part of your job as a commander. To and do all commanders do that? I don't know.
I do know that. Well, I mean, no, they send their soldier to the field when they got fucking COVID. I mean, that's
right. Yeah, we know that now.
we see that.
That's in a policy letter.
And it's straight up.
Generals and shit are signing.
Yeah, right. That's like a fucking.
For fuck's sake. Sorry.
All leaders in the organization must carry a freaking they must carry a nice. I was gonna say a nightstick. I was gonna carry
a glow stick.
A glow stick. A chem
glow
stick.
stick and engineer tape.
Engineer tape. Wait,
wait,
because why would I do that, Sergeant? Because I got to freaking make sure that all the Joes have accountable. You know, all the sick Joes. Could you imagine? I mean, I don't feel good. Oh, okay. Well, then guess what? You're going to the bubble. You're going to the bubble brigade. You're going to the bubble brigade. You're going to the bubble kids. You can hang out with a bubble and fire break, whatever. It must be some sort of social distancing measurement or something like that. But at any rate, this is a charged event, obviously, and this is a very sensitive event to this, and there's nothing we can say or do on the change of the regs. However, just provide you guys and gals the information because it's really kind of I mean, it is messed up, this whole situation. So once we figure what's going on with that and the determination of his status, we'll let you know. And then, exactly that with the Vanessa, she was on duty. So with that, this is something that we've been kind of saying now lately. That's been in our lexicon. It's a read the room. The situation dictates of a specific situation. That if there's something going on, and there is a current climate through the world, through the military world and the civilian world, and we're trying to close the gap between the civil-military divide, then you would kind of like have to, I don't know, watch your P's and Q's as a leader. You kind of have to maintain your situational awareness. For a lot of leaders that like to talk a lot of crap out there about the leadership stuff and all this stuff. So a lot of them are not cognitive of what they're freaking saying. They're not really responsive to themselves either, because they just kind of think, okay, yes, no, whatever. I'm trying to be savage. Okay, whatever, bud. I'm going to go off on recruiters for a minute. Yeah, I don't want to say recruiters. I should say I'm going to go off on one recruiter. This is like the second recruiter I got beef with. His name has been given to the appropriate leadership, so you don't have to worry about that until later. You guys have probably have seen this already on social media. However, I'm going to give you the story here. Again, we're just talking about Vanessa Guillen being missing, right?
Right. This was beef I didn't even know I was grilling yet.
I know.
Like
This was beef that you didn't know was already marinated and salted and already had the seasoning on there ready for me to cook, right? Is that what you're saying?
It was almost... I was so busy today. When you sent me this, I'm like, I had to take a moment. I did. I had to take a moment. I'm like,
so there are two.
I need to go sit down for a minute.
So there are two. There's everybody knows I had a beef with a recruiter or one recruiter ways back, and I was told not to dime him out. because the hurt feelings and everyone was going to get mad and accuse me of cyberbullying. So I was like, okay, as enough, whatever. The second recruiter, his name's already out there too, decided to go ahead and send a recruiting message, because now it seems like unsolicited texts to soldiers still happens to candidates, potential candidates. It was stopped for a minute there, but due to COVID now, the social distancing and all that, of course, there has been a change to that. What I'm going to show you is a screenshot. This is going to be a different version of screenshot madness, because this is going to be a serious note. We always break balls and talk shit when it comes to other screenshot madness segments, but this screenshot madness segment is going to piss you off. This one right here is about a recruiter who sent information to a prospective candidate. And it says, "Hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. I'm a recruiter. Our system indicated that you might be interested in some information about the programs and opportunities we could offer." No, was the response. Is this correct? And the individual goes, no, not after Vanessa Guillen's disappearance. Okay. The next comment should have been, or the next response should have been, "Oh, got it, Roger. 3 bags full. Okay, understand. I appreciate your, your candor. Whatever. You're supposed to just kind of like wave the fuck off."
Whatever his next comment should have been is not what he said.
Is not what he said. So what does he say? He says, "That can happen to anyone. Is that the only reason?" I'm gonna tell you something, Sarn. I'm gonna tell you something right now.
I'm gonna throw hands if I see you.
I'm gonna throw hands. I'm going to. This is some hand throwings event. This is the reading of the room that I was talking about. That can happen to anyone. Is that to? Let me tell you what we're talking about right now. The U.S. Army, Fort Hood, U.S. Army WTF Moments, WTF Nation Radio, the Criminal Investigation Division, the Criminal Investigation Command. Name your individuals of authorities here, to include FORSCOM and all the organizations that are on post. This is what you don't fucking say. And
this recruiter needs to watch the press briefing with Vanessa Guillen's mother.
Correct. Now, oh my God, that was heartbreaking. I mean, everyone's asking me for like throwing translations out. I was providing some translation services for the for the.
I can only understand.
And
every,
I was
words,
it was heartbreaking.
And I was in tears without even knowing what she was saying.
Yeah, and so this right here.
That's what this recruiter
right.
Correct the trade.
This is not fake. Numbers have been verified. Name has been ID'd. So everyone's like, "Oh, this is bullshit. Make up." So he writes, "That can happen to anybody. Is that the only reason?" And her response is, yeah, that's the only reason. And it's a huge reason. Why would I put my life in your hands if you won't care that I might go missing, because it can happen to anyone, unquote. What he says next is, "So we don't know the real story how she came up missing. It could be her fault, or possibly she just ran away. We don't know what happened. Has nothing to do with the Army. She just works for the Army. It puts us in a bad position, but if you're a responsible adult, the decisions you make are pure to the actions you take. And again, that can happen to anybody." Can you believe that shit?
I'm getting those angry tears.
Oh, dude, I'm getting this is what pisses me. This is the see. We just had. I had a good friend. We had Rob Craven, a friend of mine. Obviously you could tell we had chemistry and we knew each other. I mean, we bragged, shooting the shit. But damn, we were just talking about the motivation of leadership and leadership, how it's a 360 event. And how all leaders and soldiers.
Who raised this kid?
Right. Who raised this NCO?
I want to smack his mother too.
I'll be honest with you. The straight up thing is that the way USAREC conducts their it's almost like unsolicited dick pics and freaking messages to how they recruit. This to me right there. I mean, my daughter gets this all the time, and she trolls them right back. And I just can't believe this is still the way. There has to be some method. There has to be some way of discussing this type of sensitivities, like a talking point. How? Because for instance, I'm out, you're out, we're both retired senior NCOs, and we already know enough the sensitivity of this right here without having to freaking discuss this. He's already blasted all over fucking Twitter anyway. So the mill community on Twitter has already been tracking it. He's already got it. He's already got his name and all that. Only because we're not going to broadcast. We were told not to bust his digits out. But we know who you.
Because they don't want me showing up at his door.
Exactly.
You know, it's okay.
So read the room, Sarns. Read the room. First off, when you say, so we don't know the real story of how she came out missing, it could be her fault. Wrong freaking answer. That right there would be, if I was a father, brother, hell, even a parent, I would be, I was about to say Cause has got a good story with that too. For a while there was some exact reaction that he got from the Army when he asked about the condition of his daughter when she was in. And I'm going to tell you, it was straight hard for me to watch Cause go. Cause I'm going to talk about for a little bit. It was hard for me to watch Cause going through that as a father, watching this unfold, and just telling him, hey, whatever you need, brother, just let me know. I was expecting the phone call. Ken, I'm in jail. I'm just me. I was with bail money in hand, ready to go. I was going to call you up, Leanne, and we were going to go, hey, Spanky, let's go. We're going to bring Cause. We're going to break Cause out. Yeah, we meet me at the airport. We're getting Cause. That right there is, as a father, you should not be seeing that. So this right now, I'm looking all around here, WTF Nation. That right there is the words of an Army recruiter. Exactly that. I would go to jail, bro. Yeah, exactly, man. I would go to jail and hell for my family. Loyalty knows no bounds, man. I'm telling you, it was so.
Let my daughter get her message like that.
Right.
I almost threw hands at a recruiter when I was after my break in service when he asked if my husband knows I'm here, because I was still married then.
Yeah.
I almost fought him.
Right.
like what? I need my husband's permission to do shit now.
Right. No, I'm serious.
Seriously.
This is the, and this is right here. We're trying to order right now. We're going through the hiring days of the Army. We're going through some stuff. The Army. We've been helping out the Army, throwing the message out about hiring some more, getting some more soldiers in and shit like that. We got some individual like this putting the stuff out. Fix yourself, Sarns.
There is a whole social media movement that is basically saying, there's no other nice way to put it but fuck the Army.
Right.
Don't join because of this.
Right. No doubt there is. Right now there is a movement in social media to not join the Army because of the actions of this. And this was brought up. It was just a freaking catalyst right here. This right here was the final match that was already on kindling, poured over with gas.
And like I said, if you have recruiters that are responding to it like this, that's, oh my God. How many people is this, potential new recruit going to talk to now? I would say the 1.3 million individuals that have already made contact on Twitter. And already on Facebook. Didn't talk about it. Even if we didn't talk about it.
Oh yeah, before.
That is her entire.
Yeah, before. Yeah, before. Right. Well, now 1.4 million people know about it.
Right.
Additionally, on top of that, it's just frustrating, man. It's hard. It's bad enough that civilians look at us in a bad light because of actions like this. Already on top of that, but we don't need this shit to add to it. We have to fucking fix it. We have to fucking fix ourselves, Sarns.
I mean, it's bad enough that they think that nobody was out there looking for Vanessa the last couple months.
Right.
Because that is the perception they get.
Right.
Because nothing was put out on social media. I live here. People have been searching. It just wasn't broadcasted. That's just not how the Army usually does things. They don't tell everybody, hey, we're doing this and hey, we're doing that, and take pictures of their lunch, every day and say, this is what's at the DPAC today and this is what we're eating. That's just not how the Army usually works. Do they probably need to be a little more transparent when it comes to something like this? But did they know that it was going to be a huge deal? Who knows? How do you go back and forth with that? But they were searching. They just, I guess they probably, I don't know. I don't do social media like that. They were searching.
Yeah,
you see the helicopters going over.
Yeah, I was about to say you didn't have to see it. Right.
They were searching.
Yeah, exactly that. Recruiter Times is in the chats, and they were the ones that were letting us know about it too. And then once it started blowing up, and then they're like, "Do you have the?" Then we got the unaltered images, and then when we verified all that information, we're like, "Yeah, that needs to go. That needs to go. That needs to go." So that right there, position of trust stuff. Again, going back to what I was saying. We have civilians out there that look to us to ensure that the safety of our sons and daughters are ensured when they are under our charge. That's the way it's supposed to work. We're not supposed to sit there and provide this crap. Exactly that cause. I'm still pissed off about the cause event. I mean, not about what happened with Cause's kid. Because that was a tense time. I don't know what else to say. I really don't. I really don't know what else to say other than the fact that this guy needs to be held account. You sergeants need to read the room. This is not a freaking joke. He doesn't need to be. He needs to be removed from the position. Because then your soldiers are going to see it too. Your soldiers are seeing that too. Your soldiers are people, or your peers or individuals around you have seen that shit too now. And I'm happy to post it.
Like, who victim blames?
That Sergeant does. That Sergeant definitely freaking victim blames.
And if he thinks that is okay to like send out in a text to just a potential recruit that he doesn't know, what is he saying to people that he does know? That's the kind of.
I was about to say, it could be her fault. What the fuck did you just say? As soon as I would have read the first paragraph, and like I said, was going to a potential recruit, and say my daughter would have shown me that. Hey, Dad, look at this. It could be her, or something like that, or one of my family members sent me that. Bruh, I would Facebook Live that shit. I'd be like, "Hi, this is WTF Nation Radio, U.S. Army WTF Moments. Yeah, I'm here. Me and Spanky and Cause here. We're gonna go throw some hands. We're gonna go handle some business." I'd post that shit.
I'm gonna pay-per-view event.
Exactly, like Cause said, go to hell and go to jail for the little ones. God, it's infuriating. So again, read the room, sergeants. You leaders are out there. I don't know what other way to caveat and behoove. Back and brag.
Even you can make me giggle at a time like this.
So, well, I mean, it's
throwing all these words out.
It's fucking frustrating, man. It's like, God, we're trying to make end games. We're trying to make headway on this stuff, man. It's hard. It's hard. Again, the whole situation to begin with is bad enough. We don't need any additional static like this. All he had to have done was just say, "Okay, got it. Thank you very much," and that'd have been it. That's what recruiters are supposed to be doing. Now, of course, the demand too. I think the demand that some of the recruiters are being placed upon as well need to tone it down too, because I'm pretty sure that type of insistence right there, it's not. You know what I mean? It's almost like. It's almost like it was like he got turned down. Like, okay, once you get turned down, recruiter, that kind of take a hint. You kind of be done and be gone with you, and that's it. You're finished. You're finite.
I mean, I understand that recruiters are put under a lot of pressure to get people in, but that's still uncalled for. I don't care how much pressure you're getting put under. Like, no, that's still uncalled for. Right.
Yeah, it's fuck. I'm looking at the text message right now. You guys aren't seeing it, but I'm looking at it. I'm just seeing here. You guys want to see with me? I'm seething at this shit. So you guys that sent that to me, I appreciate it. You guys and gals that were out there that brought this to my attention, and as promised, I did put it on air. It's messed up. Hey, we do some housekeeping. Well, wait. Oh, wait. We have some open time. Yeah. So the month of July, to the mid month of July, almost the beginning of August, we were kind of open in the schedule. We have some guests that are going to be lined up. They're already lining up already. That they're going to be, we're going to fit them in where we can. However, but from now until like the middle of July, because we have the 4th of July coming up, there might be an impromptu, a special show or something like that. Wait, does it start time fall again on 4th of July? Because America, it is not. It's on the weekend. Okay. So yeah, there'll still be some shows. I might be in and out. There's going to be some individuals taking some time off, well-deserved time off. So you might see some other shows getting popped up impromptu because we're going to get Radar set up. I've been kind of like giddy a little bit, kind of like fangirling over Radar because I've been looking over some of his graphics that Warhol's been working on, and we've been working on some stuff, and I'm like, yee, can't wait. So I'm happy for him. Don't forget we have a show on Sunday with Kicking It with Cause and Al. And then Monday edition with myself and Flash, and then Tuesday's Pop Culture War with Michael Carrasquillo, also known as CQ, and then right here with me and Spanky on Sergeant's Time. That was Command Sergeant Major Robert Craven. Again, great guy to shoot the shit with. I love shooting the breeze with him. As promised, it was the Ken and Rob show, just like the old days, brother. He hails from Swords, Louisiana, and enlisted in the U.S. Army on March 1st, 1995 as a 82 Charlie Field Artillery Surveyor, and then reclassed at 13 Papa MLRS HIMARS Spiral Direction Specialist. And he came on to shoot the shit about this Security Forces Assistance Brigade, 5th SFAB, under the Security Forces Assistance Command under Forces Command, Force-Com. There we go, man. That's what I'm talking about. The Radar show is going to be fun. Yeah, exactly, Cause. I can't wait for it. I can't wait. I'm so happy for Radar. A little show like it's growing up. Anyways, thank you all for hanging. He's a big boy now. Yeah, he's a big boy now. Exactly. Hey, pay attention to what's going on. We're going to have the command video come up after the songs, after the Space Force song and the Tim Kennedy bumper. And then we're going to have the SFAB. Hey, you guys that are out there, JBLM, check it out. We got that video ready. So let them know that, hey, better put on that video. We did a video intro for them, so you guys want to hang around, you guys can see the video intro that we did for the SFAB, and it's pretty cool. So anyways, y'all, thank you for coming on and hanging out with us, and shots.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Intergalactic horse, and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. And now they say that they've discovered life up there on Mars, so let's blow it all to hell and then claim it for ours. We'll paint the moon red, white, and blue for no other reason than we wanted to. Oh, Jupiter, imagine what you could become. A stupid, pointless planet turned into a giant gun. And Russia, so sorry, have to burst your bubble. Be a good sport, now sit back, relax, and watch us through the bubble as we celebrate the greatness of the United Planet of America. Space Force. saddle up our intergalactic horse, and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. Now we'll go to infinity and beyond, beyond. You'll hear our manly voices singing Space Force strong. The critics say sound doesn't travel in space, to which we reply sound will do as we say. Oh, Captain Kirk, your achievements, though notable and fine, as far as we're concerned, this is Deep Space Mine. And big fans, but Lord Vader, step away from the lightsaber. There can only be one, of course. Space Force. Ra-da-da-da-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum-dum-dum-dum, ra-da-da-da-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. Space Force, Space Force. We'll saddle up our intergalactic horse, and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. Space Force.
Good evening, boys and girls. This is Tim Kennedy. I'm a Special Forces sniper, a Ranger qualified Green Beret, a UFC fighter. Please listen to us and the shenanigans that we're going to say. We will insult you. There will be racial slurs. We will be sexist. We will offend you. But there will be magic, and a unicorn will be raped. So enjoy the show. Thank you for listening on WTF Nation Radio.
As our Army Secretary McCarthy said, the other services, ships and planes, have their missions, but nothing comes close to the effects of boots on the ground, standing shoulder to shoulder with our partners. And with today's activation of the 5th SFAB, the Army can make good on its promise to align each SFAB with a geographic combatant command. And the 5th SFAB, as we've been talking about as recently as yesterday, will align with Indo-PACOM.
Being here around people who are highly motivated and people who have the idea of that concept of, hey, I want to accomplish this mission is very important to me.
Are you ready?
Phantom Warriors, Friends of Central Texas. I'm Major General Scott Eflont, the Deputy Commanding General of 3 Corps, and I need to share with you a burden that we have here at Fort Hood and request your assistance. On 22 April, Vanessa Guillen, PFC in the 3rd Cavalry Regiment, was at her place of duty, and around noon is the last time anyone has seen her. Since that time, we've continued to search for her, and there's an active investigation from the Criminal Investigation Command. But we want to bring Vanessa home as efficiently and as rapidly as possible. And towards that end, I'm asking for your assistance. Somebody, some person out there has the piece of information we need to bring Vanessa home. We will continue to search for our missing member of our Army family. If you're the person that has the information we need, I ask you please call 254-495-7767. We need to bring Vanessa back to her Army family and to bring her back to her family. We won't stop this effort until we're successful. And with your help, we can be successful sooner. Thank you.